just because sometimes, you know, I know what my friends need better and they know what I need sometimes better than I do. I don't know. I feel like we do know what we need, but you know, it could be a cute little way for you just to be like, hey, you've got something going on. Maybe you want to just, you know, listen in and you can discuss, hey, discuss what you learned today. One of the things that
Do it
Jeneth,
together.
yeah, right, have some change together. So Jeneth is getting the stream started. And remember, you can watch all of these replay and the full start to finish, even all our bloopers behind the scenes on the live stream. So on YouTube. And we are putting those out in every email. So be sure that you are visiting hothustle.com to get opted in and to receive all the different emails with all the different links to join us. All of the different replays are on there. And you can also listen to the speakers specific. So just some housekeeping. Welcome, everybody. The specific individual speaker interviews, those will be listed on every single replay email that we send out. So that's at hothustle.com, hothustle.com, and you can just, you know, put your first name in your email and you'll get all of those replay emails. Morning.
And there's also a link at the bottom of those emails to share with your friends, by the way. All right. So today I would like to, if you have been tripped up with something, especially during one of our calls, or later your head has just been spiraling on something a speaker has said, I would love to help you with that. I found that a few times I just felt depleted from this series. And each of those times I've had to go back and say, okay, what is this? You know, and as you know, if you haven't been around in my world very long, I like to do everything through curiosity and question and the energy of that. And I know that you do often too. We try to do our best to not jump to conclusions. There's clearly some things that seem wrong in this reality, but that's not actually true. You know, there is no right and wrong. There's no good and bad. And if we can really just be an allowance without jumping to conclusions or judgments, then we often have a lot more freedom.
Awesome. So do we want to officially get started?
Yeah, let's officially get started, and let me know what you've got going on in your world. Let me know where you've got tripped up, where you've been spiraling out.
Yes.
Because it happened to me twice. And as you queue up and raise your hand, and I love this work. If you haven't noticed already, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
So you gonna do our intro? Yay.
Oh, I didn't, because we're just us talking.
Yeah,
Do
no,
we need to?
yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
And this is the Hot Hustle Show.
Hey, everyone. Welcome. Good morning. So you get to see everything live and behind the scenes. And we do this because we also are podcast and streaming. So everything that you see here and everything that we talk about, you're going to get the raw and behind the scenes versions on YouTube and everywhere you can find your podcast.
Absolutely. All right. Andrew, let's go ahead and bring you up and bring you in and see how you are today.
Hi, I'm doing better today. Yesterday I was kind of tripped up on I can't remember her name, the lady with the Institute for Training People.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just tell you, I am very new to all this. I've had a little bit experience in the past with certain things, but
I'm
in
so
a different
glad.
way, not on an energetic energy level, I guess you would call it. And so a lot of things kind of make my brain go, I was
You're
exhausted
literally
after
gurgling right now.
and I don't
You could just
understand
get a little
why.
closer to your mic.
I think you're breaking up a ton of it, but I do
Oh,
think we got the energy of what you're saying. that you're
Is this
newer
better?
to this work.
It
Is
is
that
better.
correct? And that it was there's a lot of different concepts that she probably presented there. And while Andrew's getting the reconnection, I do want to say something here. And I think this is what Jeneth was kind of alluding to before we started the actual podcast. The reason why we bring on various different speakers and various different topics is because we really want this to support people and all of the listeners in wherever you are in your journey. And because we're all different and our souls are all different, our human makeup is all different, we receive in various different ways and at various different times. So it is important that we have a diverse multitude of ways of presenting the truth. Now, what may be landing as truth for you may not be landing for the next person next to you. And and the truth may not be landing, that person's truth for them may not be landing someplace in your journey. It doesn't make you wrong. And I think Jeneth was trying to say that a second ago before we started the podcast. There is no wrong or right when it comes to consciousness. Remember this, consciousness uses everything. And sometimes that can really trip us up. It can also get us kind of charged in certain ways too, because a lot of things go against our belief system. Sometimes we have these deep ingrained belief systems, whether that's conscious or unconscious, or whether that's something that we've learned from church or our parents or we brought in from a past life. Those are things that we're going to come up against. And so that's why we feel it's very important that we had a diverse multitude of different speakers and topics and ways in which you could receive truth. Because at the end of the day, however you break free is the most important to us, is whatever helps to unleash or unlock yourself from being in that stuck place and just help you move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Andrew, was there something particular that she said that really threw you for a loop?
Well, I guess the things she was saying came across to me as, no, you can't do it that way. You have to do it this way.
That's exactly what I got tripped up on too.
And I'm glad that you
And
brought that
I
up.
reeled last night because I really respect her. And I went, my head was just loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, a loop, because, what's true for me, what's true for you, what's true for everyone else on the line and who's listening in the future is not necessarily directly true for how she facilitates as an intuitive.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured out, because being in AA so long, I realized that my thinking isn't always correct, and to be open. And I thought, well, maybe it's just not for me now, because I always want to be open.
Process it.
Because I have experienced so much change following this path. Even I talked to y'all about the finances the other day, and I have felt like that burden is lifted. And I'm not doing impulsive buying.
Fabulous.
I'm able to check myself. And that was something I always struggled with. And so I've shared the link with a couple of friends. I don't know if they'll join.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy.
But
I thought about you this morning, honestly. And that just makes me so happy. Because Andrew, I've struggled in both of those ways. I am also sober, and I have also would spend outside of my means a lot to help people, and so I could relate a lot to what you were. And so I'm so excited that you shared that with us, and very vulnerable with you sharing that. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. And that's one thing I've learned too. If someone's trying to help me, if I'm not open and completely honest, it won't work. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for bringing that up. And I kind of, from looking at the chat, I kind of think that I wasn't,
the only
Anita's also did some loop to loop stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
My biggest thing is, I feel no matter what we say, no matter what a speaker says, no matter what you hear, you have to come back to you and say, is that true for me? Does this align with me? Would this be exciting for me to explore? Is this for me? Is this for me? Is this for me? I really feel that that question, a lot of speakers, you know, they just kind of go and they do their thing, and they don't actually check in with you all for you to see, okay, you know, is this for you? Like it, and especially when we do readings, you know, that might definitely be true for someone else, but not for you. Marilyn was very different from the first time I had interviewed her about 13 years ago, by the way. I mean, she was like rapid fire giving people information. And I think that somewhere along her way, and I haven't had a conversation with her, but I think somewhere along the way, she actually decided, I don't want to give advice as much as I want them to know how to follow who they are and follow this intuitive energy. So I just thought I would put that out there, by the way, because that, I mean, I think that even my head and the mindset around who she was before when I interviewed her kind of, you know, was so different. It was like, is this even the same person? Because she was just like rapid fire working with people. And then this time it was more, and it might be because she has a course coming out that teaches you how to discover your innate abilities. But, you know, sometimes the agenda didn't pan out as much as I had hoped. She's still, my gosh, I mean, she's been doing this for 30 some years. And as you can tell, the way that she is in the world is very different than the rest of the world. So I think you still can get a lot from her.
Absolutely.
But I did, you know, feel that, you know, as Lana said in the feed, she's like, no, I was looking for her to actually guide me. And I think she did guide you, but it was a little bit like you really wanted, you know, that 18 number, you know, or something, some awareness that you could leap off on and create change from there. And and
that's why, again, we invite you to, you know, join for other speakers, interact, raise your hand, because consciousness uses everything. There was something else that you had said too, Jenith, and I can't even go back to it. Oh, you know, yesterday we talked a little bit about, in the break, we talked a little bit about how you identify what's true for you. And, you know, you can use the body through what I consider as close to maybe muscle testing, but truth will always make you feel lighter. So it has that expansive, it has that I can breathe kind of feeling. Of course, it's going to be different for everybody, how they feel it in their body. And a lie will always make you feel heavier. It's that one that feels contracted, like, oh. So if you're looking at something and you're even hearing any speaker or anything that comes out of my mouth, right? And it's not really landing for you and it makes you feel contracted, well, then that's not, you know, that's not the truth for you right now, right? Or you know, maybe you can receive it differently. Whatever that is, as long as you find where you are and what makes you feel lighter, that's your truth. That's your true, and some people say true north, but that's what's going to open up, and that's what's really coming from your guides and your spirit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that is your main navigation. That is your inner compass, right?
You know you.
Right. You know you.
Yes. Your higher self knows you.
Even when you are in a construct, like you are, you know, stepping into something uncomfortable doing, and you're in that wall and you're like shaking in your shoes, and then you run back a little bit. Even when you're in those kind of head mind, I like to use it as construct more, because it seems to be receivable better that way. But when you're in that kind of construct, and you know, like as an infinite being, I should be able to do it. Some grace and honor and acknowledge, say, that's interesting that I keep approaching this, you know, wall or this, you know, uncomfortable area, right? And when you hit that wall, and when you feel like, okay, I've hit the wall, and you can take just that one step past the wall, and then shake in your your shoes a little more, and maybe you run back, but maybe you actually pursue what that is. That still is usually lighter and light in people's worlds. You know, the terror, right, of getting out of your comfort zone. To be honest, that is lighter, even if you don't want to do it. You know, for years, I feel that I suppressed my voice. You know, I wasn't expressive. I was even telling Leonka that, you know, when I first got married, I wouldn't laugh out loud during sitcoms or anything. Like, it would just be like, you know, it'd be like this snickering thing. And my husband was just like so open.
Yeah. So, and that was something that you kind of bought from your parents, right? You kind of mimicked what your parents were, you know, were how they expressed humor, right? You were saying that you kind of only snickered whenever you would laugh. I talk about how it's been a journey for me to step and come out with this work. It's, you know, it's a little bit different concepts for lots of you probably on the line. You're like, I mean, probably all free with it, but I had in my exploration realized that in a past life I've been persecuted as, you know, for being a witch, if you will, and for telling my truth, and that still, in fact, I am very claustrophobic, or have been, because that was a part of my persecution. So these are like, whoa, just me coming out and saying that still has me get a little bit of that angst. But as I am speaking my truth more often, I do feel more secure. However, it wasn't always that way for me, and I'm just curious, you know, put in the chat if there's areas where you are running up against that as well. We've got a couple comments.
Any other questions with I hadn't really read the chat. Have you kept up with it?
Oh, she says, me too. I felt persecuted is that
As a witch, yeah.
Lana? Yes.
Well, I think
A lot of us have. If you're joining this call, you're probably have known that about yourself. And so there are probably lots of us that have been persecuted for that. I mean, it was a common, you know, it was a common practice maybe. Oh, and one of the things that really helped really move me past that was some from asked me to if I could forgive them, those that had persecuted me. And I really came from a place of, you know, they just didn't have enough information. There's a lot of and I really have forgiven. We were operating in, we have this forums like this now where we can come out and be more free.
There's this new show on Netflix. It's called Code 8. And it's all about people who have superpowers.
Okay.
And how they're trying to kind of kill off and make all those people with superpowers go away.
That's very much like the way that we existed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I might have been the one that did the persecution.
Hey. Forgive you. In our past lives, right?
Yeah.
Some of them are much more traumatic, and they stay with us in our.
Necessarily mean that it's a sacred contract that you have to live by or anything like that. Like, all of that is stuff that is just in your, you know, constructs of your energy, and all of that can be changed. Like, no, energy can't be destroyed, but all of that can be changed, as well as your actual brain waves and the connections you have in your brain. So all of that can be changed. And often for a contract or a construct, actually, let's just go into, I kind of want to talk about being. So if you feel that you've got some sacred contract, construct, something that you vowed to before this life, would you be willing to revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate everything that is, and everything that means to you and your future? And anything that doesn't allow that, we destroy and uncreate.
Yes.
Take a breath. So, and If that makes you feel lighter, just go ahead and say yes, let's keep going. And we'll just kind of keep opening up the space to get you into more of your being. So after these sacred contracts, there's often times entities that can come in. People don't like to talk about them, but I feel like sometimes if that is what's going on in your world, let's clear that. Sometimes that there's this energy that maybe not you coming in on a regular basis. I'm just going to do a process with you. If you don't want to do it, you can jump away.
Or any bad juju,
or not
whatever,
agree
however
with
you want
it.
to, right, however you want to define it or whatnot, whatever makes for, I think Courtney liked to use the word bad juju, but anything that you feel like that is really being that block for you, that is not you, it's sometimes, very much that.
So all those entities that are keeping you from telling you that have entered, not actually one of your guides or a light being, would all of those please be willing to step forward? Holy cow. You can ask how many of them are, how many there are.
I have 12. Mm-hmm.
So all those are coming forward that aren't you. Ask them, who are you? Who were you before that? Who were you before that? Who were you before that? What's your job here with me? And ask them to take all their magnetic blueprinting and leave your body now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right, wrong, good, bad, all. Sures, plays, and beyonds. And take a breath. And I feel there's one more coming up. This is might shake your world, you guys. So any other entities that have decided to hold on because they are like, no, my job is with you, but you're declaring that it's not with you. Would you please be willing to let that entity come up and know about this job?
What do I need to know about this job?
And would you please be willing to take all your magnetic blueprinting and leave my body now?
No.
Take a breath. All right, and you might feel a little bit lighter, a little more spacious. You might feel a little heavier because it's just one of you and the body and you're actually being.
Yay. So you can also listen to that little snippet on a repeat if you kind of feel that kind of coming up for you again. It just really helps to keep clearing. So, just take a little voice recording and hear the snippet if you just want to kind of follow along with Janet's words. That will also help to continue running the clear.
Thank you. All right, so those are kind of the biggies as far as like, whoa, energy.
Less crowded feeling. Awesome.
Good. Yeah, I'd love to hear some of your feedback.
It feels so good to breathe. That's how I keep, and y'all see me yawning sometimes, and that's also a form of release. So not like some of the speakers are probably like, why is she yawning all the time? But that's a really big form of release. So your body actually opens up and is actually able to breathe through some of these clearings and through moving a lot of this energy.
Yeah. She's like, it kept breaking up while I was doing it, so I mentioned it.
Nice.
Good. All right.
Oh, yes. Felt automatic deep breaths. Come on. Yep.
Love it. Whew. And then after you've gone through some of your sacred contracts, some of these entities, now we get to work through the entrainments of our parents and what we learned about how we do this reality that may not be the lightest for you. So how many things have you entrained to from your parents or peers that you've aligned and agreed with that actually aren't and isn't you? And everything that is, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate? And take a breath. My internet does say it's unstable. Is everybody feeling a little unstable out there?
Everything that is, you'd be willing to
That's so
destroy
weird.
and
My
create.
bandwidth would be low all of a sudden. Maybe
We'll just keep
it doesn't
rolling.
like this energy.
Yeah, that's sometimes unstable and wonky
Wonky
energy.
energy.
We'll keep
We're trying to
releasing
get
it,
rid
keep
of it.
releasing it, and just know we'll
So
still come right back on. So
all the entities and energies that are changing, that's disrupting this, destroy and uncreate everything that is. Take a breath. Here. Oh, we've
been frozen for quite some time.
okay.
Yes, frozen. Okay. Well, do you think we should just restart?
I can move the.
Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna come off mute here. I don't think so.
No, I don't know that that's going to
Yeah.
change anything. All right, well, let's keep playing. We might have to play tomorrow more.
Yes, hopefully not in the worst
Actually,
face
you know,
ever,
I have
but
another-
it is the worst face ever. That is hysterical.
They just sent you a screenshot or something?
No, I can see it on the
Let me
on the
grab
thing. Why don't you drop the video and bring it back on? So good morning, everyone. Yes, audio's fine. So keep going, right? Because we're still moving the energy. We're still everything that is not allowing us to fully receive and be connected. Anything that is still trying to linger or hold on, would we all be willing to destroy and create that now?
Sorry, what was the question?
Woo! Destroy and create. Anything that would be unwilling to connect and fully connect. Anything that's still lingering. Anything that is just wafting around. In this dimension, any other, would you be willing to destroy and create? Yes, yes. And take a breath.
Nice.
Whew. Thank y'all. Thank you.
Oh, good.
I felt a lot from everyone too. So collectively, we all have energies that run together, and even on the replay too, because again, consciousness uses everything. So excited to move this energy with each and every one of you. So thank you for being the contribution.
Yeah.
Are we still frozen?
Let us know if we're still frozen.
Okay, no, we're good.
Animated again. Okay. Yay. We'll see how it goes.
Yes. Oh, yes. Finally feeling more released. Do you want to do a couple more clearings?
Yeah. Yes. Let's just keep going.
Yeah.
So after sacred contract, I mean, all these things, right? And then we have parents and peers and all that is, we let go, destroy. And then the next thing we call the crazy statement in access consciousness work. And it's really to like unhinge your mind. So if you're in kind of a angst or a weird state, here's a statement to keep saying to yourself. Everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. Everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. Everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing's the opposite of what it appears to be. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And what that often does, especially if you're hooked on something, is you can let that hook flip in your head and you will actually see it different. So that's just a tool for you to use if you feel like, I don't know where to go.
If I'm really, so I try to remember to use this in the mornings, just as I'm like, doing my hair or something like that. I'm like, and the rule of thought is to do it 10 times. Everything's the opposite of what it appears to be. Nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. Remember, there's duality in our on Earth,
Existence.
right? In our existence and our reality here on Earth. And so it just helps us to flip and be able to see from that different perspective. Because remember, we are all pulling, everybody else's reality is different because we're pulling it through our perspective, right? So my
point
eye
of view,
windows are different. Right, exactly. Our point of view. My eye windows are different than your eye windows, right? So, so it just helps you to be able to get right in behind it and unhook.
Yeah.
The other one was
Love life comes to me with ease, enjoying love.
10 times.
And the other thing then, if you're looping or even we call it head tripping, if you just can't stop thinking, and you're actually probably trying to sleep and you're thinking about the same thing, same thing, and you're actually not going anywhere, how to get rid of that. And so last night, I should have run this one, I didn't, but I was kind of tripping over some of the conversation. And so it's called an algorithm, and the body seems to respond to algorithms. So you can be all the algorithms creating this. I release, destroy, and uncreate.
That one got me.
3. All the algorithms that I have that's creating this. 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you can give it back to the earth. Sometimes you can just let it go.
Oh gosh.
Sometimes I will let it go with consciousness attached. So how many algorithms are keeping you from being you? And anything that doesn't allow you to totally be you, and all those algorithms, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate?
Yes.
3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
I'm just going through some
Thank you.
tools to help you guys so that maybe there's a tool here that you can go, oh, I know that's the one for me. And there's hopefully is more than one.
But whatever makes you feel light, whatever is
Yeah.
your truth, right?
Absolutely. So algorithms is one. So other things that you can do is simply just say it.
Lots of yawning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I'm sorry sometimes this can make you feel like, let go, surrendered, released, because there's so much energy that moves with this. I'm also like, maybe I shouldn't do too much this morning.
We're going to be all loopy for the next speaker. We're going to not know what to
I
ask.
have nothing in my brain. I have no questions.
And that's okay. We're creating space, and I feel like consciousness will guide us where we need to go. But I do feel like there was a lot of energy that was asking to be moved on this line. So thank you for sharing that,
seems
Jenna.
like a lot of lightness.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel it for all of us. Wow, thank you. And thank you for audience for being willing to just play along and just see what releases, right? You don't have to know what even any of this truly means in order for it to create change.
Yeah. And anybody that actually has a question that you're like, I am tripped up on this in my life. I'm tripped up on this from the last week and a half, whatever it may be, I'm happy to address it.
Oh, she said, yes, I feel like a lot is being released. Still yawning, me too. I think I'm all embarrassed.
Usually my yawns come from like way back here. And I'm like,
we're like baby bears over here. I love it. I love it. We're moving energy. Thank you. This
Yes.
is that safe space, that haven for you.
yeah, this is that haven for us to let go.
Yeah.
One of the other things that gets you closer to being you is by, simply just letting go of the past, letting go of the narratives, letting go of these noises. And it's harder said than done, but you can get there through some of these processing and some of the changing of the narrative. Just have to get really clear on what your narratives are. So it's a little bit trickier to get that done quick like that.
And just remember, I mean, really hold in your, oh gosh, if you could just maybe receive this in however you can, that simultaneously the past is at it's simultaneously the past, future, and present are all right now. So if you really, really, really want to release, sometimes I just remember that the past is only how I created it with my perceptions. That means that we are rewriting our past, future, and present in every single possibility. So just hold that out there for yourselves, whoever can receive that, and maybe just play with it a little. But it does help to release some of that fixated hold, and also helps us to forgive ourselves a lot more, because I feel like that right there, the grace that we can give ourselves is one of the biggest lessons. I mean, you hear it everywhere. It's like the greatest love of all is to love myself. That starts with that little bit of grace that you can give yourself. And so if you're tripping on the past, just remember you're also rewriting it. So make, your choices today are really honestly rewriting that past, because it all happens simultaneously.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you.
The now moment heals the past. Yes, ma'am. The now moment heals the past and future. Yes, thank you. I'm glad that you were able to receive that, because it's a bigger concept for some. Good. Yeah. I knew that this group could do that, though. Like, I knew y'all were advanced.
Yeah, this is a good group.
Yeah.
What else is coming up for you guys on you can type it in, you can ask us live. What else is specifically coming up?
Tina writes, very big yawns making my eyes water. I always have my eyes watering when I do this, and needing some sound come through, and my cat turned around and is looking at me like maybe saw those entities leave. I love it. Staying in the now has been the challenge this past year, and then it seems it flew away from me. Yeah, and then it seems that time is moving faster and faster. Even my son said that, and he's only 11. And I remember time being, and that was Anita said that, so thank you for sharing. I remember being young, and it felt like, gosh, between waiting for Christmas seemed like forever. Yeah. And I asked him, I said, my son's name is Ryzen. And I said, Ryzen, he's very scientific. I said, Ryzen, I said, how do you feel? Like, does time go fast for you? Because I felt like as a kid, it's perspective, right? How long you've been on this earth. Yeah. And he goes, no, Mom, it is moving fast for me. Mm-hmm. And he gets that. Like, he'll tell me that it's all perspective and stuff like that. But he also said that, no, that like he feels it. He's also an old soul, I say. Yeah. But yeah.
I could have a whole conversation on time though, and how it's not really real.
Yeah. Right. Yes, that's true. That is true. So it's a perception thing that we are experiencing.
But that's a collective. Right. So I haven't really used the word quantum entanglements, but
I love that word.
I mean, we're all connected, right? Mm-hmm. And Leonka and I used to have these conversations that everyone would hear the same words in their heads often. Like if I'm saying, kind of to myself that, well, I'm just not good enough, or something like that, maybe around worth. That would actually be the exact same words that somebody else would hear in their head too. So there's this whole collective that we've also aligned and agreed with and entrained to. And in a lot of cases, we've also resisted and reacted to it, which also
keeps it in place.
Yeah, it hooks us in this, polar reality. So, with the collective, you can give that back with all the algorithms that you entrained to from the collective that's locking this in place. Would you be willing to destroy it?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
So, just so you guys know a little bit about both of our paths, I'll give you the itty bitty nugget. So I like this kind of processing because I find it to be the fastest and quickest that I know that works with me. Like clearly, other people have their own way, their own processing, but I like doing it this way because it just seems to release the energy. We move forward and everything's light and happy again. So I have done this work through Access Consciousness. That's where I've learned this specific type of work. I also do hands-on Symphony of Possibility, literally people on massage table. I work with them to kind of unleash and unlock their stickiness through their body. So I do those two kinds of processing. I also do hypnotherapy, which has really been that change of narrative that I couldn't get through this quick processing. So I combined those, well, technically three things, plus I also have this weird ass frequency called awesomeness,
I love
as
it.
Lianka knows.
I love it. Yeah.
That, you know, sometimes during conversations, I can just pull up this awesomeness and everyone will just kind of feel this flow of peace when it happens. So that's kind of, you know, I guess back in 2009 was when I really decided to master some of these healing modalities and really help people. So I've been doing it 14, 15 years. Before that, I wrote a book called Seven Dragons, A Guide to a Limitless Mind, because I was having these weird things where these dragons were being channeled through me, which I've kind of, you know, hidden. I like things to look more like work in the real reality than a lot of channeling and woo.
She says that now, but the other day her dragon sent me a dream, and a lucid dream at that. And I have a pact, if you will, with my guides that I write down all of my dreams. So I get a lot of messages, and I get a lot of messages for other people too, and for the collective. So the other day I woke up and I'm like, Jenna, your dragons were there. And I didn't even make the connection at first, but then I wrote it all down and I went back to sleep. And then I woke up and I read it to her, and I sent her the message, the whole write out. And she was just like floored, because I really feel like those are her signs to keep bringing back this information and to keep sharing it with the world. So excited that we get to share this with you. And it is the year of the dragon, so of course it's coming.
And that might be why my energy is really alive this year, and why this is the first year that I feel I'm fully back.
Yay!
So that I have some weird stuff. I have a book called Seven Dragons, A Guide to a Limitless Mind. It was written in 90 days in full book form. I had a book publisher, and it became a bestseller within like the next 3 months. I mean, it was, you know, talk about something that was just divinely guided. So that came out in 2007.
And we'll do some work on that, right, Jenith, in the lounge to reference that.
Yeah, and you're probably, if you join the lounge, every other month, we're going to send you something, especially the first year.
Yeah, the first, you're going to get freebie, you're going to get gifts, including the book, including the Business Prosciutto book that we have.
And the Falling in Stilettos.
Oh, that's fun. That's juicy, y'all. So lots of good gifts there if you're joining, and then we'll be walking through some of the different pragmatic, using that as a source, as well as, pulling forth more modality to help you wherever you are at. So it's going to be very intimate, and it's just a really great way to move forth and just be supported by a community.
Some months we'll just do a hypnotherapy session, right? You guys can vote on what kind of thing you want, and we'll just come on the line and do that too. And then she can be the one that processes you or works through that.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's fun. A couple days ago, we were both in black. We've been accidentally syncing.
I asked a consciousness what I should wear today, and I had a green dress picked out, and it kept going back to this. My guides kept going back to the orange. So there you go. No accidents. I love that. Yeah. Truth.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm spinning again. I guess, Lianka, do you want to share a little bit about your story?
Sure. So I have been on this journey for, since I met Jenith, honestly. I was working in corporate, and I still, all the way up until we decided to do this particular podcast, had worked in radio and television for most of my career. So in marketing in some sort of fashion. And so I really prided myself on being, Little Miss Corporate, and I'm gonna do all the studious things to,
hardworking.
yeah, hardworking, and I'm gonna win the awards, and I did, and I got recognized amongst my peers, and I still had this gaping hole in my heart that. It started about 12 years ago, and so I decided that in my private time and on lunchtime, I was going to study to be a life coach. And so at the time, most of my friends didn't even know what a coach was. They were like, "Are you coaching like softball?" And I was like, "No, it's like life coach for you." And as you know, one of the fastest ways to meet people is to network and go to live events. And so I went to a live event, and Jenith happened to be giving a talk there. And I remember her giving this really in-depth conversation about, it was a little bit business, but she was taking it very earthy. And I thought, wow. And all of a sudden, I'm watching her give this talk, and she's got this long black hair, and she's rocking and rolling with her boots and stuff. And I just look up, and I remember hearing the words like, "You're gonna work with her." And I go, "I'm gonna work with her." I was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna work with her." And I mean, stuff like that would happen in my career, but I never had anything like this happen. So the way Janet says is that I stalked her a little bit for.
I wasn't really ready for somebody to help me.
And so she had started the teleseries, and so I jumped on, and it was, rocking and rolling, and I found out that she was doing a live event. So I raised my hand, and anyway, we ended up working together. And this is the first time hearing some of these very, oh gosh, in my mind, I was like, this is way woo information. And this was way outside of anything that I had ever considered. I mean, I studied lots of religions and stuff like that, all of them, and by happenstance. But I had never heard some of the stuff that she was talking about, and the clearings that she was doing. And I was, listening, and I was experiencing, and then working with her. I mean, I was thrown into it, and lo and behold, my journey happened. I couldn't stop the curiosity. And so I found myself in between times in my career, then following that energy and that curiosity. And so I went on to, books would fall into my world. And so did different speakers. And so I've learned to do QHHT, which is Quantum Hypnotic Healing Technique, taught by Dolores Cannon. So I'm certified through that as a level 2. And the higher levels are like 3 and 4, but it's the way in which you work with people is the bigger difference. And so I'm at the highest level that Dolores Cannon could provide as an understudy. So she's since passed, is the reason why I'm saying that. And then I also was led to the work of Akashic Records. And then through all of that, and I've been deep channeling the Galactic Federation. And so I get these really in-depth messages, and that very much come through, in which humanity now has raised their hand to hear. And so this is the type of work that I help people do. And so I bridged that work together to create ways in people release their attachments to past lives and to contracts that they may have had, or ailments in the body as well. So a lot of that all works together, especially now that we have been upgraded in our DNA. Is the short version. So those are the ways that I'll work with you to help release that. And the cool thing about it is that it's you doing the acknowledgement. You talk to yourself, which I really love.
Yeah. And if you've just come on the line, I did some clearing processing right before. We're just kind of creating a little bit of space before we make everyone fall unconscious. But what we were saying, and the whole reason that we're having this conversation at the beginning today, was because I said, with this work, you have to keep asking, is this information true for me? So we have Cinnamon Clark coming in in just a little bit, and she is a psychic, and she will give you messages, whatever you want to know, and she is usually spot on. But whether it hooks you or it clears you or it helps you, you still need to look at what of this is really true for me? What whispers and choices can I move forward to unearth from here? And, and really look at it like, is it true? Or is this just something I already knew? Various things like that. So, I just feel like you need to kind of keep tapping into you and really acknowledge you instead of just like, saying, oh, well, a psychic told me this, so I'm doing this now. If a psychic tells you to move to Sedona, and you go ahead and move to Sedona, leave your job and everything, you could cause quite the disruption in your life. So I'm inviting you to really check in and say, is that even a desire for me to move to Sedona, right? And that's my biggest point of this all. My other point is it's really easy to create some space and get back to being you by really just asking questions and releasing. Okay.
Good morning.
Yes, it's probably in trouble.
Hi, Ruben.
Hey, I love when the guys join us too.
Is he talking to us or is he just talking? I'm just muted him.
Okay.
If you do want to talk, go ahead and raise your hands. That'd be great. How much time we have? We have like 6 minutes. Do you want to talk about the lounge real quick?
I'm not getting any sound.
Before Cinnamon comes on, I want to talk just a little bit about the lounge that we're creating. And so after this series, it ends next week, like these 4 days with 2 callers a day. It's coming to an end next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. We have decided that we love this and love this community. So we are going to take the last week off in March, and then twice a week, I think we're decided Tuesday, Thursday. Yep. On Tuesdays and Thursdays next,
we'll be back.
Starting in April, we're going to just bring one caller on for twice a week.
Yeah.
And flow with that for a while.
And we'll also do the live too, so you can still ask the questions. You can still join us. Sorry, I'm not getting.
You're not hearing anything?
No, it was a second. It says battery high. So.
Is your battery dead?
No, it says high.
You want me to re-plug in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you're re-plugged in.
Okay.
So
Got it.
With the lounge, as things grow, and if you've been in my world before, you'll know they will grow. I know Tina's like, yep, I know they'll grow. Cinnamon just came on. But you do get priority access to ask questions for us or the speakers. You'll also get a session with me each month, like a group session, and a session with Lianka as a group. And you also get 10% off with the speaker special offers that you want to purchase. So if you purchase a lot of speaker special offers, it'll pay off. It's just $29 a month. That goes up at the end of this summit to $39 a month. So if it calls you and you want to join, then this would be the time. I'm going to go ahead and bring Cinnamon on, and let's go ahead and stop this recording and start a new one.
Okay, I can hear that.
I can hear you. You can't hear you?
I could hear recording stopped.
Oh. Lianka's having a little trouble with her microphone or headset. All right. Oh, that's not Cinnamon. Hold on.
She's got that cute picture, the cute backdrop at the top.
Wait, is that right?
No, no,
I
no,
don't want
no.
to remove her.
No, at the top you
I
see?
see that, but I want to know how to unpin here.
That you can just change. Okay.
I remove pin. Okay, here she is. I just clicked the wrong one.
Add pin.
Add pin.
Morning. So we get to be live, and Cinnamon gets to see us live behind the
My
scenes.
goodness.
Perfect. Sounds good to me.
I
Let's
can
do
hear
it.
her now.
All right, let's go ahead and start the recording. You can hear now?
Yeah,
Okay, great. Is it just me? Can you hear me too?
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me, but yeah, I'm right here, so it doesn't matter.
It's fine.
Looks like your Bluetooth is trying to work. Okay. All right, let's roll. Let's roll, man. Let's roll.
Cinnamon, give me a couple words. Test.
Hey, y'all. I'm glad to
Hey.
be
Oh, I
here.
love it. I love it.
Perfect.
Oh, gosh.
Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert,
And I'm Leonka Reyna.
and this is the Hot Hustle Show. And today we're talking with Cinnamon Clark. And Cinnamon is a psychic, and she's a little ADHD and
A little?
autistic and all
A
put
lot.
together. So she belongs in this group.
For sure.
Oh my gosh, the pre-call that we had with you, I had so much fun in our pre-call just deciding what we were going to talk about. I was like, I don't really care what we talk about. I just want to talk to this girl. So that was fantastic. I know Leonka's had a session with you, so she knows a little bit more about you. Do you want to go ahead and start?
Yeah, so I met Cinnamon because I heard her do an interview, and she was talking about concepts that was stuff that I'd never heard, and she was talking about neurodivergence, and really was speaking to my heart. And I was in a really tough spot at the time, and gosh, look at me now, right? Since our conversation, and Cinnamon really helped to first kind of pinpoint what I was experiencing, and gave me that safe space. Would be like, hey, ADHD, let's roll. This is a superpower. And she also, in a reading that I had with her, it was phenomenal because she's so authentic, was able to really step in to say, girlfriend, go for it all. And boy, did I. And a lot has changed in, gosh, just I think it was been about 6 weeks since I met with her, and I really moved. I've shifted things in ways that I can't even explain on this call. So welcome, Cinnamon. Good morning, and we're glad to have you.
And Cinnamon, I really get that that's your superpower, is like just being able to put the eye on where somebody's sticking themselves and be able to go whoop and flip it over.
Yeah, and wouldn't it be great if I could take credit for it? I can't do that, y'all. I know I don't take credit or blame, y'all. My spirit guides help me out with all of it, really. And I don't know how to not be authentic really anymore, because I stopped masking, because of course I am
Yes.
autistic and I am ADHD. And I know some people don't like me saying it's superpower, because there are a lot of accommodations that I have to do for myself, and a lot of people have to do for themselves. So, but I feel like it's how you view your world. My little filter for reality. Well, here's the freaking truth, y'all. I've just trained myself to have pronoia. Bottom line, trained myself to do it. It's the opposite of paranoia. I just absolutely firmly believe that the entire universe is conspiring to help me in every positive effing way.
Woo! Love it.
And it's work. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it's work, and it's a pain in the ass, because my little brain, my little primate brain, whoo, Lord howdy, wants to go into the negative all the time. And y'all know, you know how it works. Your brain is like going and going. It's like, holy crap, will you ever shut up? So I talk to myself, my brain, like it's a little assistant. Like, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for all of your input. And I know, 20 years ago I said that horrible thing. No need to remind me at 3 a.m. Thank you. Thank you.
Nice.
And I just kind of talk to it like that so I can live my freaking life. But
Yeah.
y'all make me sound so fancy. Y'all ain't that fancy.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you actually are a little fancy.
Well, here's
Cinnamon,
hoping.
how did you get into this work? You tell us a little bit of
Kicking and
backstory, and then
screaming.
if you don't mind, we'll take some callers get right in there. We've got the line lighted right up.
Yeah, kicking and screaming. That's how I got in this line of work. It was like putting a cat in a bathtub. I was hissing and scratching, didn't want to do it because I had a business of my own. I'm a canine behaviorist, and this is what I've been doing since the freaking 90s, And that's what I work with highly aggressive dogs. That's my gig. And I've worked with horses and wolves and tigers and house cats and training and behavior. But my specialty is aggressive dogs. And I was a vet tech for 15 years, worked South Central Animal Shelter. Woo! Damn. Worked at Pasadena Humane. I mean, you name it, I've done it. Had my own business for forever. Taught group classes for highly aggressive dogs for like 18 years. Crazy in the Valley in LA. And it gets to a point though, when you are as sensitive as I am, that compassion fatigue kicks your ass. And it was screeching halts for me because I did get, but I just finally realized like, oh shit, I have complex PTSD. Fuck. Now what do I do? And so in 2020, as y'all, everybody, right? My whole world collapsed. I'm like, well, shit, I just got to get rid of this business because I can't do it anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I had to give it up, crying because it was just this, and I lived through a dark decade of the soul, and I just came up out of it. And not a dark night, y'all. This was more like 12 years of horrible depression, intense anxiety, debilitating. And I finally realized in 2020 that, oh man, I'm autistic. I'm in my 50s, y'all, so I had no idea that I was autistic. And there was a lot of grief that came with that, realizing that I'm autistic, because I think back to Mississippi in the 70s, it sure would have been nice if anybody knew what the hell was going on in my little brain pan, you know what I mean? Instead of just like, oh, that's Cinnamon, she's hyper. I'm like, it's ADHD, y'all. So I finally decided, and I feel like so many people are going through this right now, that everything is just a freaking diaper fire. Y'all, everything is just like, and you hate your job and you hate where you live and you don't know what to do and you can't figure it out and you feel like you're in limbo and everything's stuck and the world is on fire and everybody's fighting everybody and Paris really is on fire, y'all. Like, it's crazy, right? And then you add all these other things to it. And what I finally figured out was, I can no longer put my body into a lifestyle in which it does not feel okay. I had to break up with my entire life and create a brand new one in which my body feels safe enough to thrive. And that's what I did. And I was freaking terrified. It was so scary, but I did it. I did it. So if you're miserable, y'all, it's doable. Truly.
So if you're
Really?
miserable, you're good.
Well, yeah, no, and thank God if you're miserable. And let me tell you that, like, thank God you're miserable. I know I sound like a crazy person, but roll with me. Because here's the thing, when you get that new relationship or you get that new job or you get that new place to live and you're so excited about it and you can't believe it, you're like, oh God, I can't believe my luck's so great. Or I love him and he's the sweetest man in the world. And then, a couple years in, you're like, what the is going on? Like, this dude is an a-hole. My job sucks. They're horrible people and they're freaking toxic. And I just want to run around chewing tinfoil. I can't do this anymore. So, but if you're that miserable, y'all, here's the secret. Your misery is in direct correlation with how much you've grown. Boom. And you go, well, he's not the same person that I married. Yeah, he is. Holy shit, honey. Yeah, he is. But that's just where you were. So if you're miserable, celebrate it. Holy shit. Because this means you've outgrown where you are. Ooh, think about that.
I was miserable when I was talking to you at that time. I was so upset because I knew my heart really wanted to do this work full time. And I did not, I was, shaking in my britches and worried about this corporate career that I didn't want it and it didn't want me anymore. Either.
No.
Yeah. And I'm so much happier. Yeah, I'm nervous, but I am so much happier working with the folks today and having wonderful people on like you. Yeah.
Well, and that's it, right? You ask your body, because I swear, y'all, your body is the greatest oracle you'll ever have.
Oh
And
my
if you
God.
really, really are in tune with your body, you don't need my ass. You don't need me. If you pay attention to your body, then you know what's coming around the bend, and you know what decisions are right for you. Because here's the secret under the surface of it all. What is confidence? Confidence is not checking shit off a list like, ooh, look at me. I did this myself. No, confidence is, do you trust yourself? Do you trust yourself? And does your body trust you? Because you're not your body. And I know we know that, right? Like we know that logically, but really you're not your body. Your body is this little carbon-based life form, this little mammal down here on this planet, and it's got its own little wants and needs and desires that are not even yours. So if you can get your body on board and really listen to it and trust it, holy shit, you're off and running. And it's scary at first. Don't get me wrong, it's scary, but it's worth it. It's worth it to take the leap and see what happens. I mean, what's the worst
Yeah.
that can happen? Go back to your old corporate job that you hate. It ain't going anywhere. It's going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Straight up. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been going through this thing, since the live stream, just because I feel like I'm in the house like all the time now because we're hosting this in our house. And so like I get like
It's a
this
studio.
cabin fever, right? The studio in my house.
It is a studio in her house, but yes, it's here.
And I just last night I just broke down. I'm like, I think I'm stuck now. And I'm literally like stuck in my house. How would you facilitate something? I mean, like when like all's good and then suddenly we hit this wall and we know that we need to change. Like what is your like general advice for everyone that might be just hitting a wall?
You know what? It ain't rocket surgery. You just make a list about the shit you hate, and then you make a list right beside that of shit you're going to do that's opposite.
Love it.
Like boom,
Amen.
done. And you
I
know
love
what?
that.
When I was in LA, crying and meditating and the ugly cry, and meditating, and I'm like, spirit guys, come on, help me out. And I just was like, well, something's got to give. What am I going to do? And the thing that we always say, right, in the spiritual community is write down your list of what you love. And it's hard to do that shit. A lot of people, it's hard. And so I said, well, screw it. I'm so hard on myself. I'm gonna write down all the shit that I hate.
I love that.
I hate the heat. It was too hot. I don't like the heat. I'm autistic. I don't like the heat. I like the cooler weather. And so I need to be someplace cooler. And I don't like all these dadgone people. It's 10.5 million fucking people in LA. Are you out of your mind? And what am I thinking? Like, I am autistic, sensitive human, and this is what I choose? Oh my God. But I've been there since God was a boy, y'all. So I did really want to leave. And then, all these things that I hate, the traffic and the this and the that. And so I said, okay, well, here's my criterion. Here it is. And it needs to be a cooler place with fewer people. I need more trees and people. I need a slower pace of life. I need people who leave me the hell alone because I'm an introvert. I don't mind being in my house. And here are the things that I need. And so I just started looking around and found a place that resonated. And mind you, I was dragging my, teenage son. I'm a single mom. I dragged my son into this. So even double scary because you're thinking, oh God, what if I screw this up? But the thing is this, if you feel it's right in you, then it's right for everybody around you. It's just magic that way. That's just how it works. So I would say make your list of what you hate and then make a list of what you love. And getting up and out of the old groove is the hard part. But once you're up and running, and then please understand there's backlash also. When you shift your life around, there's going to be backlash and it's going to be funky before you get comfy. I feel like that's with everybody, isn't it? Like you move someplace new and you're just miserable at first. Isn't that the point of it? Till your body gets comfy and then you're in a groove. But I feel like it's a don't give up on yourself and be happy. Like, and what is it that makes you happy? Because I swear, here's what I live by, y'all. When I was saying that you're not your body, this is truth. And having a body is like having a pet. You got to brush the fur. You got to socialize the damn thing. You got to walk it. You got to take it to the veterinarian. It's a pain in the ass to have a body. And I feel like I could get so much more done in a day if I didn't have a body, but that's another story. But I finally realize now, if I adopt a little dog out of the shelter and it's got whatever going on, right? Fear of thunderstorms or fear of strangers or whatever, I would do everything in my power to help that little dog. And why am I not doing that for my own little pet, my own little body? Like, it's that's so freaking simple. So what is it that makes your body joyful? Like, how hard is this?
Yeah.
And now, because I'm autistic, I don't like crowds, and I don't go to Walmart or Costco. I don't like the lights. I don't like loud noises. I have all these accommodations that I make for myself. If I go out into the world, I can only do about 1 or 2 things a day, and then I need to come home and rest. And so now I've formed my life around that. And now my body is finally like, ooh, feeling pretty good. I'm pretty good, because I swear it's like getting a little dog from the shelter and you take it to the dog park every day and it's miserable and you're not paying attention and you're telling everybody she's fine, she loves it, she's fine. She's not fine. That little dog is petrified and miserable, and then that little dog starts hating the car, doesn't want to see the leash, doesn't want to see your shoes that you wear, hiding under the bed, and then it's snapping at people. And if none of that works, its body gets sick. And so does ours.
Yeah.
So what in your life do you need to eliminate? Because just like taking your body to the dadgum dog park, like, it's not hard. And you know what's really hard is the doing.
12:13 p.m.
Oh, it's 12:13. Oh, there you go. Well, not for me. It's only 10 for me.
11 after hour.
Oh, yay! But at any rate, I mean, I feel like we don't take care of our bodies, especially neurodivergent people. We just don't want to fiddle with it. We want it to just do its thing. So we have shit to do. We don't want to waste time. But that's not it. Paying attention to the body that you're in is important, because that's why we're here.
Right.
I mean, what the hell? And we
Right.
spend so much time, well, I'm going to meditate, and to try to get the hell out of here. Why don't we just admit it? Like, okay, well, this is my little body, and it's weird, and it likes what it likes. And that's okay. And how can you be gentle with yourself? Because we're just effing mean.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute. We're mean
Yes.
to our
And
little
yes.
bodies.
Other people we love sometimes, when we're not being like aligned with ourselves. If our bodies are grumpy and we're grumpy and we're angry, then we say mean things.
Yes.
And it's
True.
It's sad, but it's true.
Like
If
the
I'm
little, like the
hungry,
little
sleepy.
book. Well, the little book, how full is your bucket? Like, little kids read that book, and everybody's got a little bucket of energy. Are you taking away or adding to somebody's little bucket? And dogs can have an empty bucket too. So all of us. So what do I feel like you need to stand up for yourself, for sure, because boundaries come along with all of this stuff. But and that's another thing too, because I'm an energy healer, right, y'all? And that's really what I'm doing nowadays, much more so than the medium stuff and the animal communicating. It's this healing thing. And people go, well, I've got this lower back thing and I need you to heal me. And I go, you sure? Because let me tell you something, it ain't going to the doctor. I'll do what I can do, because I heal to the degree in which I'm allowed. But your real healing is this. You need to maybe divorce that partner of yours because they're horrible and mean to you. You need a new dadgum job because they're toxic and terrible people in there. And you need to go no contact with that family member who won't admit what happened to you when you were little. There's your effing healing right there. And they go, wait now. I didn't want all that. I just want you to do some magic hooey on me and make it better. And I can take it out in the moment, but it's going to come right back unless you do for you. And boundaries are a big part of that. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, y'all. Feel free to stop me whenever. I mean, I could talk for 4 hours straight, y'all. I'm a big mouth.
I
So
feel
there
like
you go.
she's like put her hands up. I was like, I want to high five you, man.
Well, and I don't ever
I think this is what
prepare.
we need to hear
Yeah.
today.
Amen.
Well, yeah.
Yes. Amen.
I
That
never
is exactly
prepare.
how we need to hear it.
I never prepare for things because I
don't
feel
either.
like that would be a bit arrogant of me, because I don't know who's going to be here it's not about me. The info comes through me, so it's what y'all need today. That's all, So
Yes.
it's not about, well, and I think I'm
Yes.
going to teach
For
you
everyone.
about,
Yes,
oh
on
my
the
God.
line.
Yeah, it's about you, what you need. and I bet y'all $5 the questions that are going to come up are for everybody.
I love the hate list. I'm just like thinking about what would I put on my hate list.
Really, and then do the opposite.
She's a badass.
I still went way back there to when I asked that question.
And she said, and do the opposite. So we're getting some great comments in the
Great.
chat.
Oh yeah, I don't
love
even
her.
see the chat, y'all.
Such
So.
beautiful, crazy energy. Love her. She's a badass.
Well,
Love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So we want to take some callers.
sure, let's do it.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can now. You're
Okay.
going in and out.
Okay, great. So with Ginny Robbins, let's give you a
Hey,
Hi, Jenny.
chance
hi.
to talk
Nice to see you, ladies.
Cinnamon.
Do you have a
I,
question, Miss Jenny?
yes,
And
yes,
if
I
I say
do.
miss, it's just because I'm from Mississippi. It's the utmost in respect. Don't get me wrong, y'all.
That's fine. Always make me feel young, please.
I do never say ma'am. Oh, I hate when people say ma'am. That's just rude.
That's
Anyway,
too
Miss
funny.
Jenny, what would you like to ask?
I was wondering if you can give me some insight on my mom. She's been pretty sick the last 6 months, had pneumonia 3 times, sepsis and pneumonia this last time. She's out of the hospital, but any insight? Do I need to go up there now to see her
You know
kind of
what?
thing?
I would. Not because she's on death's door, but no, I feel like your presence will be healing for her. I
Mm,
feel like just you being there and her seeing a familiar face and it being safe because you offer safety. I don't know if you realize that or not because you've worked through a lot of your shit.
yeah. I'm an
I don't
energy
think
worker
she
too.
really has, but that's all right. You know, it is what it is. But I feel like seeing you will help her be better. Also, I feel like I keep hearing in my head, well, you know, sooner or later, everybody's bill comes due. You know, so I feel
Hmm.
like it's a bit of a backlogged sickness because she's not really liked her body and her life, and it's just kind of caught up with her.
Mm,
You know what I mean? But I feel like your presence would help her a lot.
okay.
Even if she fights you on it, it's not the point. It's your presence. So did you have a question about that? Oh, or am I allowed to do that? Like I'm like keep talking. Yeah, y'all tell me what
Go,
to do.
go. No, go ahead,
You're
go.
good.
Don't tell me what to
Because
do. It's
because
Fun, yes.
Jenny, did you have more questions surrounding that? Because I feel like there's something else underneath that.
I just wanted to, do you feel me actually physically moving out of my home?
Eventually, yeah. I mean, don't you want to already? Weren't you going to like 6, 7 years ago? And then you
Um,
didn't?
well, my husband died, yeah, 8 years ago, and
Oh,
it
okay.
was, am I staying? Am I going? Can I afford to stay? But everything has been okay as far as that goes. And I've been here. I stayed in the same location. And I was just wondering, I felt like I was moving, but I don't know if I'm moving as far as me energetically just keep going higher and higher, or if it's a physical move.
I feel like you physically move. Are you close to the beach or do you vacation at the beach or what's with the
I live in
beach?
South Florida and about
Oh,
25 minutes from the beach.
okay. Well, you were already there because I feel like it's a smaller place and closer to the ocean. And because it feels so different in this new little place. It's smaller and it's light and bright. And I see in the springtime the windows are open, and you can do that because you're not in the middle. Look, I'm from Mississippi. You're not, well, if you were not right on the beach, it's like too many skaters. You don't want to have the
Yeah.
windows open.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just looks so light and bright, and I see you smiling and having friends over, and it feels really good. So, are you
Am I
ready to
staying in
release?
Florida?
You
Am I staying
you
in
don't
Florida?
have to. I don't know what the Carolinas are about with you, but I'm hearing that in my head.
Okay.
That
Okay.
you could go there, that would feel really good
Hmm.
because it's a
Hmm.
different vibe,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
And
you.
I feel like it's time for you. Well, it's time for you to do for you it to a greater degree.
Hmm.
And you don't have to just. Well, you've spent a lot of your time processing really everybody else's stuff too. And I feel like that's come to a close. I hear it like a that, like that's done. You're not going to acquire any more trauma. You don't have to process anybody else's stuff. You're free. And I think that's why I see and hear those seagulls and see your big windows open and there are white curtains flowing and you can literally see the beach. It's this beautiful, it's like an apartment up, they have the gorgeous like condo things. And I don't know if that's a vacation home or you live there, but oh my gosh, it's lovely. It heals your soul. Not that it
Mm.
needs healing. It just feels good.
Okay. Do you
Like
see a time frame, Cinnamon?
if
This
you
year,
want to
next
move, yeah,
year?
and if you want to move this year, you can. 6 to 9 months, you could be out of there.
Okay.
If you want
Cool.
to, because it feels like the house that you're in is heavy now
Okay.
and not as light and bright as it could be, you
Hmm.
know? Like you could
Okay.
have it easier. And I don't think we really kind of get that because we're caught up in where we are and we don't see, and our central nervous system would gladly pick the devil that we know other than heaven that we don't know. And our
That's
little
for
ego
sure.
is like, don't take risks. Oh my God. A saber-tooth tiger is going to jump out of nowhere and kill everybody in a fiery heap. That's the way our primordial hardwiring and our ego self and our thoughts, all three, it's like the triple threat is what I call it. You don't have to believe it. You can do hard things, right? You can do what
Yeah,
you want to do. And
absolutely.
you're super powerful. You get it. Like you don't need anybody to tell you what to do. You know what you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
cool.
like your
Thank you so
first
much.
rodeo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks, ladies.
All right, the next one up that is Shamira. You're up.
Oh, where are you? Shamira?
Shamira, there she is.
Am I
Can
saying
you
it
hear
right?
it?
Is it Shamira?
It is.
Okay,
It
yay,
is.
hi.
Hi. I had a reading with you not that long ago, Cinnamon. So I
Oh
just
my
wanted to
God, how
say,
cool. Hi, how are you? There
hi.
you are. Now I can see you.
Good. I'm good. So I don't know how many callers are going through menopause. I would love some help from the guys for the pain in the shoulder, my right shoulder that hasn't been going away, and for
Oh.
any advice on the changes that are going on so many levels. Thank you.
So my name is Cinnamon Clark, NMD, not a medical doctor. That's what it stands for. But I say, oh my word, get on some hormones. And I talked to my doctor about that recently, and she said, well, it was why everybody was so like, don't get on hormones. But that was one study done in the 90s, and everybody freaked out over it and said, no, don't get. But yeah, no, get on hormones. And
Okay.
and let me see about your shoulder. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Now, what does it feel like? Was it hurting before?
Yes.
And now, is it any better?
Still really crunchy in there. Lots of
Okay.
goodies in there.
Oh, and I know this sounds oversimplified, but have you gotten a massage, a deep tissue massage, to manually crunch those out?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how helpful is it?
She said, when are you going to your chiropractor? I went to the
Oh
chiropractor. When
no.
are you going to your acupuncturist? I said, that's
And
sweet.
so, do you do yoga, Tai Chi,
I've been,
Qigong?
I've been meaning to get into it.
I feel like
Okay.
that is your maintenance.
Okay.
Because your body, well, your body's just pissed off. It's inflamed, So when I see your body in my mind's eye, and I just pulled out a hunk of stuff, all these separate ways. I pulled it down your hand. I pulled it down the bottom of through your foot down into the ground. I pulled it out this way, and it felt like a rebar. And you know what it looks like? How bizarre that they're showing me this. Do you remember the movie Twister? The 90s movie
Yes.
Twister with Helen
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah.
And they had the little balls that went into the air to test the weather. That's what it looks like. It's in you, these little metal balls. And it's like they're inflamed and going, hey, fucking pay attention. It's really what they're saying. It's like they're throwing themselves up. It's because that's the metaphor, like throwing themselves up so you get a better understanding of what's happening systemically through your body. And I feel like it's the yoga because it's gentle, consistent movement. That's what I hear in my head. And of course the massage and the acupuncture. Do you do
Acupuncture.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
Yeah. Going this week. Yeah.
Oh, yay, perfect. Because I feel like it's all of them. And are you on hormone replacement therapy or no?
I've got a natural thing I just started. It's taken a couple of weeks, but I don't know how long it's going to take to get going on that.
And you may just want to go talk to your doctor and see if it's appropriate for you to get on
Okay.
some. And, I am very medically minded, so for me, I'm very comfortable taking medication of that sort. Some people are
Okay.
not, but I feel like I love, love, love all natural medications, and I love, love, love Western medicine too. I think it's a great
Okay.
combo, and I feel like if you're really hurting, go for broke because it's not fair for your body, and it's not fair for
Mhm.
you. Like if you're
Yeah.
freaking miserable all the time, what the hell, man? I don't know. Like, I feel like I would rather be on some hormone replacement therapy and feel good all the time. And you know what? My teenage son calls my hormones the mama be nice pills. Because like without them, I am like a freaking crazy person. So I don't know. I say go for broke. And but that's just how my filter for the world, because as a technician, veterinary technician, everybody go, well, you know, what do I do? And what about quality of life? And when do I do this? And that? And I go, you know what? I would rather put this dog on some hardcore drugs if it shortens their life. Okay, because if your dog is living a very long life and absolutely miserable every second of the day, what the hell? Why would we do that to anybody? Maybe it's a shorter life, maybe, but that dog is gloriously happy. Yes, put them on the freaking Darabax and let them go for broke because their hips don't hurt. I feel like it's the same for humans because, you know, my spirit guides always say life's just a temp job. Don't take it so damn serious. So do what you can to make your body feel good in the moment. We're just gonna treat it symptomatically, because here's what the animals taught me: you cannot force anybody to heal. Period. I have seen animals go through horrendous situations, like truly catastrophic wounds, and they heal right up. And then I've seen animals go under anesthesia for a broken toenail and they don't want to wake up. Like it does, you know, your body needs a safe, lovely place that it feels really good, and it needs to feel good and no crunchy shoulder. It needs to feel like it wants to go to yoga, you know, and then maybe you can wean off later if you want, but give it a little help.
Okay.
I think it's only fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Oh my gosh. You're so welcome. Shamira, have a fabulous day.
Thank you, Cinnamon. And we were actually talking about that all week long, menopause. We've got 2 speakers that have talked about it, including by Winona, who actually has a teledoc in their system.
Love
it. I put the link in the chat if anybody else wants to check it out. Those replays will be out this weekend. They're just kind of hidden, pre-recorded that we're adding to the series. So if you want more information and everything, there you go.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
I love it that now we're well, thanks to social media, women all over the world are able to talk to
finally, right?
And we're going, hey,
Open
wait a minute,
to.
we're all miserable? Whoa.
And having these crazy thoughts.
Yeah, perimenopause really kicked my ass, and I think that was part of my dark decade of the soul too, because you know that was all in my late 30s or early 40s, and now I'm in my 50s, and so I said, screw this, I'm gonna take the Mama Be Nice pills.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Yeah, I know for me it's becoming time because I'm becoming different. It's just, you know, and I don't like it. It doesn't feel like me, so I'm feeling like my hormones are very annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, I mean,
Chica.
I feel like it's also, I love that everybody's talking about it, because now we understand the grandmother theory, which is a Googleable thing that you can go look up. But it's humans and killer whales are really the only ones who go through menopause, right?
Okay.
So why in the world would nature
Killer
do
whales.
that? Isn't that bizarre, right? Like, why in the world? Because nature is all about creating more of your cells.
Sure.
That's the point, because we want to make more and more and more. And so nature, in her infinite wisdom, said, wait. Older women have a wisdom that runs so deep that we do not need to risk their lives creating more of them. We will the young ones will risk their lives because our knowledge is too valuable.
Interesting.
And so now they're finding out that women were the best hunters as well, because they are finding the bones of the women, and you can tell by the pelvis, and they're rolled up tools and things like this. So women have, well, history is written by the winner, right? By the victor. So a lot of the stuff about women has just been not spoken about, but now it is. So I say be nice to your body and help it however you can. It's only fair. It's gotten you thus far, which is a Christmas miracle. So there you go. All the bad shit you've done to it, all the Taco Bell you've eaten, and all come on now, all them nights have you drank way too much, and then you're eating hangover food, and you feel like shit, and you go to work anyway. Like, come on, give your body some HRT and be done with it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people go to coping things, especially when they just feel off.
Right.
So they overeat, they overdrink,
sure.
they don't exercise just because they feel off. So.
Right. You're just
Well,
trying to
but the
get it.
hormones are it's a very real thing. Hormones
Yes.
for men and women, because I was genuinely, truly, legitimately hungry all the time. And just, it was all consuming. My brain was all consumed with food. And my entire adult life, I've weighed 125 pounds. I've never, because I'm ADHD. I've never really thought about, I have better things to do with my time than eat. That's very autistic of me. Because we autistic people go, wait, did I eat lunch today? Oh shit, I can't even remember. We forget, right? But when my hormones shifted, I was just obsessed with food. And now I'm on a higher dosage and I feel a lot better. And I have energy to move my body now
Interesting.
too.
Yeah.
It's a
I'm all
fantastic-
in.
Sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. That's
It's
great.
a
Bywater
beautiful thing.
Luna is, just so everyone knows, is a partner of ours for the show. So, definitely go over there, check it out. It was really sweet of them to partner with us to continue these shows.
Yeah, and she, the co-founder did an interview with us, and it was really informative. It was like, what? Really? That there's like 22 types of estrogen that we need as bodies, and then there's like 70 or some more that exist for other bodies on this planet. I was like, I thought there was like 3.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so much that I'm not privy to at all. There's so much that I don't know. So,
Absolutely.
I just go by what I feel and I ask my body.
I love that too.
I mean, truly,
think that's-
and that's something that you can all do. You can go, okay, I have 2 choices: get on the hormone replacement therapy, or tough it out, and then and think about the first one. Okay, if I am on this, what does my body feel like, and see what your body tells you.
Love
Is
that.
your belly loose? Is your chest open? How do you feel? And then if you think I'm going to tough it out and not take it, is your body tight? You can't speak, like what, your body will just straight up tell you.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep.
I mean, you can just ask your body all the things. It's just the best oracle ever, in my opinion.
Ever.
Yeah, I think it takes a little bit of time to get your body to listen sometimes, though, and respond.
Yes. I agree.
It's got to trust you.
You have to try it. It's like a relationship. You have to make friends with it.
Agreed.
And be kind to it instead of judging it and like saying this fat ass, this fat stomach. My hair.
Never
Yeah.
do. Never. Well, and I
It's
had
all
my
about
son
adoration.
late. I was 38 when I had my son and I gained all this weight. And y'all, I roller skated, pushing that stroller 5 miles a day around Balboa Park in LA, 5 days a week, and did not lose a fucking pound.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, and then so I finally just like, that's it. I stripped down in front of the mirror with and I went and I said, okay, my body's beautiful. When I quit moving, does it still move? Yeah. Does it like, do I want that? No. Does it look like I want it to look? No. But you know what? I love it anyway, because I created an entire extra human from scratch. Can you believe that? How cool is that shit? And then after that, I just let it go, because again, you cannot force a body to heal. You cannot. You have to you don't have to do shit that I say, but this is how it works, really. All you can do is give it a wonderful, safe environment where it feels appreciated and loved, and then it wants to do, and then it's effortless. You're not even thinking about it.
Love
and it
that.
just sort of happens. That's the way that it works. And appreciate it and love it like you would your little dog that you adopted.
Yeah.
We're so mean to our bodies. My gosh, it's so cruel. And there's no sense in it. Well, and these corporations have done that on purpose. So we buy their products. So we continuously feel empty. That's the point. But see, I'm autistic, so joke's on them. I get one little tube of lipstick and I'm like, "Wah!" for like a week. I am so excited. I can't even believe it. It's the little tiny things. Like now I'm getting this veg box from this local farm, and they have this organic veg, and I'm over the moon. Like I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's on the box. Like, what do I get today? Oh my God, it's an orange. Woo! Like this is why I love being autistic, because I'm like a little kid with stuff like that. And that keeps me young and joyful. Because
I'm
holy
very much
shit.
like that too.
Yeah. Well, have you read Samantha Craft's unofficial checklist online? Well,
What?
y'all can go. It's Samantha Craft with a
Okay.
C, not like the mac and
Change
cheese.
my world. Change my world.
Yeah, Samantha Kraft's unofficial checklist. And it's just a long list. It's a freebie thing online. It's just a long list of attributes for adult women with who are neurodivergent, and neurodivergent ADD, ADHD, and autism. And being autistic, having autism, is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. This is simply a different way that our brains function. It is a neurotype. It's not a dysfunction. It pisses me off because when you read the DSM-5, which is the big book of mental illness, which of course we're in there, they pathologize us to a ridiculous degree and say that our, let me give you an example. That we can't stand injustice, and they think that they, meaning the authors of the DSM, they believe us to be flawed in some way, and I feel that this is not a flaw. I just have integrity. I have immense integrity, and if something feels off, I'm just not going to do it. I don't care how much money is involved. I don't give a shit about it because money does not impress me. I don't care. I don't care. And, I lived in LA forever, and I trained everybody's famous their dogs. I don't give a shit. I don't really care, But I feel like the autistic people are the magic people. Hardly a scientific study, but I mean, I've given thousands of readings at this point. And the magic people are neurodivergent because the way we view the world is simply different.
Different.
Yeah.
Neurotypical people are brilliant at having the same job for 30, 40, 50 years. They're brilliant in corporate America. They can work for someone they don't respect. They can. We cannot. And we need to do, because we're the artists of the world. So we need to do all of the things in a day, then we need 3 days to rest. Then we do all of the things, and then we need 3 days of rest. And this is just how we operate. And now they're kind of realizing that we were amazing hunters too, when we were hunter-gatherers, because autistic people forget to eat, go a long time without eating. We don't give a shit about pain. We look down and go, oh my God, there's another bruise. How the hell did that get there? Like you bump your hip on the counter, you don't even notice, and our perception of every little thing that's off, we can sense something's off.
Yeah.
And you have a friend group and a new guy comes in and you go, ooh, he ain't right. He ain't right. He ain't right. And everybody goes, what are you talking about? He's so nice. Everybody And then a couple months later, they all figured out, like, oh God, that dude's horrible. So, and that leads me to, y'all are all psychic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because everybody's psychic, it comes standard on a human. And if you think that you're not, you are. Because, I feel like I liken it to, you walk into a restaurant and the mood lighting is so lovely, and you hear the laughter and people talking and murmuring, and somebody's putting a fork down on their plate and glasses clinking, and just the ambiance feels so good. And then you sit down, the menu is lovely, the food looks amazing, it tastes divine, it smells good. All of these things you're thinking about the next week when you're relating the story of this a lovely dinner. You don't go, you know what? It was the guy who put the fork on the plate made the whole meal. Like, no, you don't pick it apart like that. You don't go, well, I'm not clairvoyant, so I'm not psychic. No, that's not how it fucking works. You're psychic all the time. You just aren't calling it that.
Yes.
Because you hear, and I'm claircognizant, clairvoyant, clairalient, clairaudient, clairsentient, and clairgustient. Like I have all of the things. And I'm a psychic medium, animal communicator, I'm an amplifier, and I'm an energetic healer, like all this crazy shit. But the reason I am is because I say I am and I allow it in.
Uh-huh.
So
Amen.
It's how much are you allowing in? That's all. Does it freak you out and you don't want to allow it in? Well, it doesn't have to be scary.
I like that you said that. I like that you said that.
It's not hard. And it really is the first thing in your head. Truly. Like when you feel something in your body, or somebody asks you a question, it's the first thought in your head, that's usually the truth. Well, not usually, it is the truth. So, there's the trust in your body again.
Yeah.
When you trust yourself, you get, and so we're all psychic. I mean, I've just had a little more practice so I can get the details. That's all. It's not that big of a deal, y'all.
Do you want to take another call?
Yeah, let's take another one. Jennifer, let's go with Jennifer. Top of my screen.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Jennifer.
Thanks so much for being here. I resonated with what you said about the animal communication and the dog training. I have a question about my dog. She's super sensitive and sometimes insecure, but she does great while on the leash. And I really don't know if like she'll just never be an off-leash dog or if it's just something we have to work at. But she's the sweetest.
So
We've al-
what would you like her to be able to do?
I would like to be, even if we were on the leash, I would love to be able to go to a place that's off leash and just be able to, you know, walk without freaking out.
Her, because how and what is how does that manifest in her? Is she cringing at your feet? Is she lashing out at other dogs? Like what's happening?
Yep, she's lashing out at other dogs, just being highly reactive. And what's most interesting is it could be the most calm dog.
Oh
And
yeah, because she feels
for her,
something
that's
you don't
so
though.
triggering. Yeah.
So I mean,
And
and
also tried to pee on another dog, just like marking her territory. And it just
oh,
like it comes out of nowhere and I can't like anticipate and I'll be like, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know
so
that thing kind of
bless
thing.
her heart though. It's
I
anxiety,
know.
you know, it's anxiety. So square one would be um a distance in which she's comfortable. So and that's her boundary. So
Yeah.
dogs will tell you straight up what their boundary is. It's the most lovely thing. They just tell you because people go, well, my dog won't eat when it's around other dogs. I go, well, you don't need to have your dog that close to other dogs then. When you back up, back up, back up, back when the dog, you can come up here. Come on, honey. You know we're talking about y'all, huh? This is crawfish, everybody. Um,
Oh,
little crawfish. How you doing?
oh my
I'm
gosh. He
working.
looks
Can you
just
give
like
me a
my
minute?
dog.
Oh yeah. He's
Yeah.
he well anyway, he's a long story, but so behavior states that if you go back far enough where that dog is comfortable eating, because if a dog is not eating, that's anxiety. It's too close to its trigger. So the when you because will she eat in a place with off-leash dogs?
She's definitely like attacked another dog from like the other dog's owner giving treats. So
Okay.
she's
So but
highly,
will she eat them in the presence of these? She
yeah,
will?
yeah,
Okay, so she's super conflicted. Got it. Okay,
yeah.
so you need to just start outside the dog park to get her comfortable there.
Okay.
And you'll be looking for calming signals. And do you know about calming signals? You can,
Like the
that's one
tail.
of them right there. The calming signal, what he just did, the yawn, because it's a stressful thing. So you can look up calming signals online and it's a look away, it's a lip flick, it's a body turn, it's a yawn. It's when the dog has a yawn with a squeak at the end, super stressed out, super stressed out. Then they'll reach that peak and they'll shake it all off. So it needs to be levels of comfort for her so she knows she's safe. I would venture to say that's not the dog to do things like that. You
Okay.
could work on it totally. You could get her up to doing that and she'll tolerate it. She probably won't like it, but she'll tolerate it. She'll do it because you're asking her to do it. But does it bring her joy? No. But this is
No.
why you have multiple dogs. This is why I've always had multiple dogs because some can do that and some cannot. You
Sure.
know,
Yeah. She gets like her body shakes
oh,
even like
she's
if we take a
super
bath.
stressed. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's stressed out.
It's
Well,
something
and
that
it could I love you too. Holy crap. Like pushy much. But you know, and here's the thing too. So when a mother is pregnant, whatever stressors she is experiencing while she's pregnant, those babies are born with more neuroreceptors for that type of stress because it's just nature's way of ensuring survival, right? And this goes for humans as well. So that little dog just had a mama who was stressed, and probably that mama was stressed, and on and on and on. So, you know, there is a certain degree to which you can get her and then you'll probably plateau out, and this is who you have, because I feel like it's 50% what the dog comes with and 50% what you can shift. But I would say that do well again, like I was saying earlier, with your own body and taking it to the dog park and such. I would say full stop on everything. Don't take her anywhere in which she feels uncomfortable. Don't do anything that makes her uncomfortable, and do that for a couple of months and then see who you have. Then see if her behavior shifts, because what you're looking for is goofy. And this is a human body too. When you're comfy enough to be goofy and silly, because goofy and silly is the antithesis of stress, right? So you're looking for her to roll in her back, you know how dogs do, and to be super duper comfy. And so if she gets, does she do that at home?
Yeah, and we are at that point where we just only do the stuff that she's comfortable with, because
Got
that's,
it.
yeah, like you said, that is totally her boundary.
Yeah, she just doesn't want to do it. And
Yep.
you know, she just may be an introvert like me.
Okay.
And so
Yeah.
and so I have literally stopped doing the things that I thought I was supposed to do. Well, I'm supposed to go out with I'm supposed to like to go to watch the fireworks with all the people, and I hate it. And I'm just not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to force my body to do it. So I would say she's just as comfortable where she is. So you can work. Look, I mean, I had this huge mastiff that I got out of the shelter system. He was a big, I don't know, kind of Corso maybe, but I mean, he was 150 pounds, this huge animal, and he was highly aggressive to people because of fear. And it took me a year. I did 6 months of no contact with people, and then 6 months reintroducing. And I took that dog all over Los Angeles to elementary schools to talk to kids about, jobs with animals. And they'd go, Miss Reyes' class, come down and pet, and everybody could come pet the dog. Did he like it? No, he would tolerate it. But when he got nervous, he would just give me a look, and I'd go, okay, everybody go sit down. You know, you big monster, you come hide behind me. Right? So he tolerated it because I asked him to. But so Jennifer, I think that'll be your dog. She'll tolerate it, but she just doesn't want to do it. So get an additional dog, and she stays home, and you get the other dog who's outgoing and extroverted, wants to go and do the fun stuff.
Okay.
I mean, why not? And then that would help her too, because if you have a dog who really wants the attention, hello, crawfish, anyone wants the attention, and then she could be in the background, and the other dog, strangers could pet that other dog.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
It's easier that way. You know what I mean? She just wants to be in the background. That's all. No harm in that.
Totally.
And if you want to talk about it more, we can do that, like behavior, but I don't want to take up behavior time on here because that's not really what. But obviously, I'm geeking out, right? Because I love it so much. But we can talk about it later if you want to. Anyway, sorry, but thank you for your question, Jennifer.
Thank you.
I was gonna say she definitely helps me with all the lessons, and of course, me being an animal communicator, stepping into that too. So.
Oh, that's what you are. Oh my God. Oh, that's fantastic.
Well,
I can't read my own dogs.
It's something that I'm leaning into.
Yeah. And them giving us boundaries, because, and here's definitely what I've learned with the animal communication thing. If you have a dog with behavioral issues or health issues, they absolutely have chosen you for that reason. Mm-hmm. So you can move through or experience what your soul self wanted to experience, and that's why you came down here. So if you have a dog who's really outwardly aggressive towards other people, then where are your boundaries? It's like it works kind of like that. But that's so cool. Another animal communicator. Yeah, Jennifer, I love it.
Thank you. That's great. All right, Cinnamon, talking about working together, I want to bring up your offer here so that you can kind of talk about what happens when people have sessions with you.
Let me tell you, it's life-changing. Hello.
And it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun. Because the most important thing is that I call it the kindness bubble, and that's the most important thing. So you're never going to feel judged or I don't know, is this really safe? I'm very trauma informed, and I want you to feel super comfortable, and it's all about you. So really, it's going to be different for each person, because it's not about what I think you need. It's about what you actually need. And so we'll in the beginning we talk, and it's a reading, and we go over what you want to do, and then we do this meditation, and who knows where we're going to go in the meditation. It's different every time depending on what you want and need. So, I mean, there you are. And I don't even know what's on here. What am I doing?
That is exactly what you're doing.
Okay, so it's
all right, I thought you were actually looking at the page here. I'm putting
No,
it
I
in the
am.
link,
I'm
you
looking at the
guys.
page because I don't even remember. Y'all,
Yeah.
look, my friend Christy helps me with all this stuff because my memory is like a colander, so I don't even know what's going on half the time.
So when you purchase when you purchase from the show, she's given us a really great discount. Honestly, her sessions run a lot higher than this, and so she'll do a 1 hour session and then a 30-minute later. So it's like a follow up, a little mini. Is that?
Can I do? Well, I would love to do it all at once if y'all can, because I think that is the best way to do it.
It is. It really is. That's
right?
how I did it.
Because if you break it up, it's kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
So I would love to do 30-minute reading and then the meditation after. And look, I only do a couple of these a day, so we're done when we're done. You know, so there's no pressure and there's no. It's just really open,
It's amazing.
and safe and easy and fun. You know, and really powerful because we'll knock all kind of stuff out that you don't need, like blocks to whatever, to your joy, to your happiness, you know? And if you have fear of being seen or imposter syndrome or any of these things, we can work on all that stuff too for you. So
Fabulous.
I would prefer to do it all in one day because it's just most fun. Because once we get in a groove, we don't want to stop. We're like, oh, we got to quit and do it later. Like,
and that's how I did it with you. And let me tell you guys, it was life changing. I mean, it was one of the best things I ever chose for my life. And I visit with a lot of different speakers, and just Cinnamon is so authentic. And she just was like, sister, let's just knock that off. And I was like, oh my gosh, it just a different way in looking at things. And it was just amazing. So,
because ain't nothing to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, y'all.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that people have a reverence for being psychic and it's super fancy, but I kind of think like, no, man, let's get in there and get it done. Like it's great to be fancy, but also we're human and we have shit to do and we want to have fun doing it. And so, you know, let's just and oftentimes I think all the pomp and the circumstances is like a screen door in a submarine. Like, come on now, let's just get this shit done. What are we doing? We're wasting time. So I obviously don't pull punches, y'all. So, you know, and I don't sugarcoat shit. So I'm gonna tell you the truth, and I'm gonna be super honest with you. But it's always with respect, always, and the absolute. I have reverence for you, your boundaries, how you're feeling in every moment. And I am huge about consent. And I've taught kids about consent with animals because I think that's an easy way to teach little ones about consent. And so I'll ask your body, if we're going to talk to your body, I'll ask your body, hey, is it okay if we do? And lots of past lives come up sometimes too. Like, I just never know what's going to happen. So sometimes we go through your chakras and it's all these past lives that come up and we go in and heal those. Sometimes it's your child self that comes up. I never know. Sometimes we walk through my garden and there's so many different cool places to go in my garden, all these little gates that lead out to other places. And it's like, oh my God, I never know. And this is why it's so fun for me because I have no idea what's going to happen. So it's different every time because it's about you, you know, and like what you want and need. So it's tailor-made for you.
It is. And so when you do select to join us or join Cinnamon for her for a reading, if you buy that, then you will get an email from us, and we'll collect your email address, and then we will send you the way in which you'll book with Cinnamon directly. So just know that if you don't get that immediate booking link, it's because we are collecting your email, and we'll get her one-on-one, because these are real. These are one-on-one. I mean, these are, you know, she says she only does a couple a day, but they are so life-changing. Let me just tell you that again.
Because I can only do a couple a day.
Yeah.
Because every single thing I do, I give it my all. I do not know how to do things half-ass. It's not in me. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to be breezy. If you haven't noticed, have you met me? Hello. I don't know how to be breezy. I'm super intense. I'm like all in. And so when you book with me, honestly, let's do an hour and a half at one go. And please plan for yourself to have time after, because I swear your body is like, all of our bodies are like a little toddler. You're going to need a snack and a nap. You're going to need a snack and a nap after, because it's like, holy shit, what just happened? Oh my God. You need a minute. Because we'll pull out crazy shit, and it'll be like black tar, or it'll be funky things, or I'll find rope in your chakra, like ships and things and wine barrels, and like I never know what's gonna happen. So it's a lot. So be prepared to rest after for sure. So don't operate any heavy machinery. after.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you have a
Everybody
wait list? We had one of the questions. Do you have a wait list? How long is scheduling out?
you
wasn't
know
that
what?
long.
Now it's kind of dying down a little bit, which is a beautiful thing. So probably like a week, and that's
Okay.
it. So
That's
yeah,
great. Yeah.
Love it.
because I try to space out, so yeah, so it's because that sucks, doesn't it? If you
Yeah.
hear somebody, you
When
want to do
you're
it
ready.
now. At least I do, my ADHD self. Like if I've got to wait like 3 months, I'm like, ooh, well, I don't want to do it. So yeah, I think it's like a week.
And it was like perfect timing. It really is. Everything is in divine timing. So it was
True.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
you might need a week to kind of do a little bit of processing on your own, and then you'll be ready to.
Oh, it was so amazing. Yeah.
And your guides have got you, right? So when we're in meditation, most of the time we see the same things in meditation, which can freak people out because they go, wait, what? Why are we, what? How are we seeing the same thing? But sometimes we see something completely opposite because we're supposed to deal with both of those things. And they may show me some stuff that is different than they show you. And there's a reason behind everything. That's the reason I'm saying it this way, is that even if it is a couple of months out, there's a reason for that too. You know, if the scheduling gets wonky and you have to redo it for a later date, there's a reason. So, and all that stuff is above my pay grade, y'all. Your guides know you so much better than I do. And the beauty part is I don't even have to know the ins and outs of all of this. And it can all be above my pay grade because I just do what I'm told. I heal to the degree in which I'm allowed. And I would never overstep your soul self and what it chose to do to come down here, because in between lives is when we plan for the next one, right? In between lives is when we're all there together.
Yeah.
And then we go, hey, we did this last time. I want to do this next time. Who's in? Right.
Yeah.
So your soul family kind of, because I'll do that and I'll do this, and we all kind of sign up for it. Right. So, and then we all show up and forget it all. We forget how fancy we are, right? Because, but your guides have got you is what I mean. And you know what? Your guides don't help you because you're helpless. Your guides help you because you're actually incredibly, immensely powerful. But when we come down here, we have blinders on for a reason. We have selective amnesia, a lot of amnesia, because if we were to remember every single lifetime that we've had down here, this one would not be important. We'd go, why would I gotta work so hard? Whatever, and man, I'm gonna just sit down and relax. But we needed to feel so intense and powerful and amazing, like this is the only one, and we've got to give it everything we've got. And then that way we really experience all of this. What are they telling me in my head? They're telling me in my head to experience this planet is so incredible because, and they're just showing me like it's movie, like clicking through pictures of the Amazon and waterfalls, the amount of butterflies on this planet alone, and the mountains and the snow and the horses running wild across the United States and the bison. And in Vietnam, they're showing me fields and like it's, oh my God, in Switzerland and Italy and the beauty of China. Oh my God, this planet is incredible. We get to be here. Are you effing kidding me?
Yeah.
How cool is that shit?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Anyway, so you're incredibly powerful and y'all just need to remember it. And that's what I'm here to do. To remind you how amazing you are. That's my job. To inspire you and empower you.
Thank you, Cinnamon. We don't want to go over on time.
Oh yeah, sorry y'all.
No, girl, we would
great.
we'd go forever.
Absolutely fantastic, and it's right on top of the hour. So thank you, Cinnamon.
Oh my gosh, you're so welcome. I think Crawfish needs to go outside to pee anyway, so I'm gonna have to get out of here, y'all. Thank you so much for letting me be here.
Yes.
I am so grateful,
beautiful.
and thanks everybody for letting me talk your ear off for an hour.
Loved it. We loved every minute of it.
Thank you, y'all.
Thank you.
All right, do I just exit out of here, y'all? How do I do it?
Yeah, you can
Yes,
just
we'll
leave.
unpin you, and you can just hop out.
All right, thanks, y'all. Please
Thank
have
you.
a fabulous day. Wait, how do I do it?
I think you can press end or leave.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Okay, thanks, y'all. Please have a fabulous day, and hopefully
Thank
I'll see
you.
y'all soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, she's fun.
Oh, she was so fun. All right, Ahamna, I saw you come in. Now
We're going straight in. Hi, Hamna.
Hey, how you ladies
you
doing?
guys, if
Good.
you don't know yet, we are about to talk about the energetics, the multidimensional energetics of money. And I'm going to start the recording right now.
So Hamna gets to see the behind the scenes. We are doing all live, Hamna. So all good times, and this is what you're seeing right now. And give us a second while we started the recording.
Yep, here we go. Why can't I see the recording right now? Isn't it in this link?
Because we've been moving energy all morning.
Moving. Okay, here we go. Okay, you guys. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Jeneth Blackert.
And I'm Lianka Reyna.
And this is the Hot Hustle Show. Today we're talking to Ahamna, and we're going to talk about the multi-dimensional money traumas that you may have. And she has downloaded this Meridian money system that has gotten us so curious on the pre-call that we are just like jammering to talk about these money meridians and overcoming money trauma, and especially multi-dimensional money trauma, because this may not even be yours, and it may have been entrained, and it may be from a past life and a past experience. So Ahamna, welcome.
Hey everyone, good to be here with you all. So nice to see you ladies. I love this live energy, live events.
Yes, it's fun. It's been
so
really fun.
And we're happy. Would you like to take some live callers throughout the call?
I'm open to it.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yay! So we've got a really good group on the line. Lots, very open, and I always like to say that they're oh gosh, like the Navy SEALs of consciousness, and just really open to diving in, and no matter where they are in their journey, they're just really willing to receive. And we've been talking a lot about what's true for you. It would feel lighter and stuff like that. Hamna, tell us a little bit about how you got started in this work. What led you to your journey, and how you get your downloads.
What led me to my journey with money specifically is kind of a really long, windy, evolutionary story. First and foremost, to say I am a walk-in, so I've only been Earthside for the last 5 years. And so how I talk about my journey can be a little strange for people, because I will
We're
literally
ready.
reference
I love it.
another life that was living inside this body before I came in. So I don't typically get downloads. Like, I just am plugged into source field at all times,
Got it.
and any information that I need, I can just pull and extract, because I didn't go through the birthing canal and forget
Yep.
everything that we forget when we take on that imprint. So yeah, life with money has been a really fascinating, interesting journey, being on such a deeply spiritual mission. I do a lot of planetary work, and I'm very much here on a spiritual assignment. So then you weave in this element of money and being someone who helps people with what I believe is just spirit. Money to me is just spirit. So when I say money, I'm saying spirit, I'm saying energy, I'm saying consciousness. It's all one and the same in my world. And, I wasn't physically born into wealth or affluence. Like, I really had a lot of money trauma and wounds at a very early age that, yeah, just shaped and altered how I experienced reality, as it does for everyone in their relationship to money, is how you're resourced here, how you take in energy, how you nourish your body. This is all involving money. So I saw money as a really foundational piece of our souls being able to fully enter our root chakra and really root and ground higher consciousness. We actually have to address what's going on in our relationship with money. So that is kind of what led me on this path. I was basically like living in my car being like, I'm not going to use money at all. I'm just going to be fueled off spirit. And I was being provided for. I was having a really beautiful time traveling the world, being provided for by spirit. And feeling like I don't really need to like run a business. I can be of service. I can go out. I can help people who maybe don't have money. My work still does involve offering things of high value for a very low cost because I really truly believe in accessibility to healing. And I had this moment where money just like came to me, the spirit, the soul, the yin side, which we'll dive into as we go into the meridians of money, came to me and was like, listen, you have a really important path here with money. I need you to actively work with me and to help other people like you, other soul-led people on their spiritual journey to realize that money cannot be ignored or avoided or disconnected from because it is a part of who we are. It's a part of our ecosystem. It's a part of our spiritual growth. And yeah, it served as a really big wake-up call in my own process of
Interesting.
starting a business, which I've now been in for 10 years, and actually charging and working with cultivating the currency of money in my life, still though from a very deeply, like, to me, money is a catalyst for our spiritual growth and evolution. It can show us any blind spots that we have in our root chakra. It can show us any areas that we are still plugged into artificial beliefs that aren't truly ours, like our soul's beliefs. So yeah, it can mirror to us as well a lot of different things on our spiritual path. So that's why I really love working with money, because it is this great catalyst to reveal and illuminate what's actually going on inside of us.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And the best thing about money is it's also a currency and it loves to flow just like life. So this is going to be a fun conversation.
Yeah.
I know so many people that sometimes it's overspending, sometimes it's overgiving, but they have these conditions that it's usually like one, two, or three things that they continue to do so that they never actually have money. Can we kind of start with some of the bigger, I don't know if we want to use the word trauma, but constructs that are keeping people from not actually being able to have money? The frequency of having specifically.
I call it holding, like actually holding,
I hate that word. That's
stabilizing,
funny.
anchoring, like cultivating. This is the water element. So if we want to just be weaving this into our money meridians, like we actively work with earth and water to hold energy. And a lot of times people will be in these patterns of leaking energy out, right? It comes in, it goes out as fast as it comes in. They're not able to hold it, cultivate it, grow it, allow it to actually start working for them. And then you see the similar patterns in those people where they will maybe say, I'm feeling overwhelmed a lot, or I feel too much, like kind of the wounding of the empath will often manifest those financial patterns where they're not able to hold it because deep inside they don't feel actually safe holding energy. And so when energy comes in, like money is just energy. So if you want to create millions of dollars, you need to be able to hold the energy of that. And if
Would be the
currently you're,
frequency of it. Is that what you mean? Be
yeah,
the
because energy
frequency
is
of that.
frequency, right? So energy has different frequency spectrums. We could call that hertz, megahertz, right? Milliwaves, if we want to get real
Sure.
mechanical about it, which sometimes I can do. So reel me in, depending on where y'all are
So
at.
No,
yeah,
we're good.
I mean,
We're good.
we're often into the semantics and words or codes. So sometimes, I just want to clarify more than anything, but I feel what you're saying, instead of holding the energy for millions of dollars, you're actually asking them to be the frequency of it. Is that correct?
No, I'm not.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not. So there's this whole notion that like you have to become something that's outside of yourself. You are already the frequency of
Of
an
everything.
I love
unlimited,
it.
limitless
Yes.
being. So
Yeah.
you don't need to
Okay.
become something that you already are. People inside, because of trauma, because of the high intensity of this time on earth, meaning there's a lot of abuse, neglect, a lot of people feeling really victimized, disempowered, a lot of intense experiences that have manifested. due to this being a massive leap in consciousness point on the planet where a lot of
Sure.
karma needs to be rapidly resolved. So we all came in, and I can probably guarantee that almost every single person on this call had really intense experiences throughout their childhood, throughout their life. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be here even having this discussion with us right now, because those serve as the openings to going deeper in consciousness. So I don't personally believe that you're not a match for millions of dollars, because we're all unlimited, limitless beings. So we're a match to
Yeah.
everything and anything. Do we currently feel safe in our body actually stewarding that energy, though?
There we go. That's the word, maybe.
That's the best word,
Yeah, that's,
stewarding.
yeah.
Love it.
Does it feel safe to actually, and we could look at this, let's take
Love
it
it.
out of money for a second and let's put it into love,
Okay.
right? Let's think
Yeah.
about relationships. And let's talk about like relationship patterns that will show up. And maybe someone isn't fully able to orgasm, right? Orgasming is a tremendous amount of energy you have to hold in your body. Or let's say people are closed down to partnership and relationship. Opening up a deep soul relationship is a lot of energy to hold in the body. And if there's patterns where we pull away and we say, oh, that's not safe, let me close down, let me tense, let me tighten, that's basically the body saying, I don't feel safe holding this energy, right? So it's the same thing that will show up with money when large sums of money come in and it is immediately gone and people cannot cultivate it and hold it and steward it. It's because their body doesn't actually feel safe with that amount of money and the responsibility that that amount of energy brings into their lives.
Yeah, it's funny. So I had a, $1 million a year basically, and the next year I basically had this mindset of I don't want to do it this way anymore. I'm going to basically shut it down to the degree of what was really bringing in this massive flow. And I was just like, I'm exhausted. It was so, sometimes when I look at millions of dollars, I relate it to a lot of hard work.
Yeah, I was going to say,
So
the
what
responsibility
would be
of.
your advice as far as like for us that can do it, actually getting out of the paradigm of it's almost like the head stuff, not necessarily actually doing the work too.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I could hold the container for a moment there, but I wasn't willing to continue to grow the container.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is when we can understand and dive into the yin and yang sides of money, where we have been predominantly living in a yang money energy, a masculine money energy on the planet, which is all of the logic, the structures, the finance, the budgeting, the computing of information, and very little of the emotions and the connection and the felt sense and the health of our body and the care to our body and really how we feel about all the things that we're doing to create that money. So when we have been in such a hyper polarized, living in one side of the spectrum consciousness on the planet for such a long time, that's deeply ingrained in all of us, this like
Right.
work hard mentality that I mean, I got it. I'm probably, raise your hand if you got that work hard mentality. Like, I grew up with a farmer. He was like, go, go,
Oh my
go, go,
gosh,
go.
it's the worst.
Yeah, and my body's like, I don't think I can do this. And I had a huge health crisis that I had to completely shut down my body to heal, because I was conditioned in the same way that most people are conditioned to work super hard in that masculine dominated world. Well, the flip side is the yin side of money, and this is the feminine side. That is the how you feel, your emotions. Is your body in alignment? Do you have deeper things going on inside of you? Are you actually able to rest and land and receive from that state of rest and relaxation instead of hypervigilance and force? And I got
Yes.
a real big, like, masterful lesson in this when I'm not sure if I shared with you ladies, but I basically went legally blind for 3 years and was
Wow.
seizing and was just like unable to function in a business that I had built that was generating a lot of money. And my body was like flatlined. And I had so many things come up inside of me that were like, my body's saying, you need to stop working. You need to take a real break, not like a week off on vacation or like a month off. You need like a year at least off from working to really truly heal. And would have all this stuff come up inside of me because I had been conditioned to just go and
Right.
work and keep
Yeah.
performing and providing. And I love my work too. So that also makes it a little bit more challenging when you love what you do as well. But my body was giving me a very different message. So I ended up taking off a whole year and only worked on the yin side of my relationship with money, worked on what's going on in my unconscious, worked on my meridians, worked on my beliefs, worked on my emotions. And I ended up making
Wow.
more money that year in my business, literally doing nothing at all in bed, not even responding to emails or anything, than I had any previous year before. And I was like, whoa,
Wow.
okay, creation really wanted me to see this,
Yeah.
that actually we can be wildly resourced and deeply nourished.
I love that. I'm going to do a hypnotherapy session on just that. How to rest and be taken to wealth.
Hey.
That's what it's going to be.
I love it.
I get the frequency of that finally. And I hope that so many others can, I want to say, be that frequency, but that's my word.
Yeah.
You're just going to have to be with it.
To make it like more tangible for some people, that like to say it in a different way, if we understand our nervous system, right? We have our parasympathetic and our autonomic. Our sympathetic, which is all a part of the autonomic. That sympathetic would be the yang side, right? And the parasympathetic would be the yin side. The parasympathetic, we also know, is the magnetic polarity, meaning it magnetizes and brings energy into the system. Whereas the sympathetic is the action, right? We take action, and we send an electrical charge out.
Out.
So if we understand that, and magnets are what draw everything in, well, then wouldn't it actually make sense for us to be really resourced if we sit back and receive everything that's trying to come to us? Like it magnetizes it in. That's what the yin, the parasympathetic,
of course it
does.
would. It makes so much sense now the way you're saying it. Right.
And maybe there's a reason this information has been suppressed from the planet.
Oh, hey.
Yes.
Right?
And so, Hamna, would you say that you had that experience so that you could come back and share in the way that you do now and teach others? I wouldn't even say teach, but like walk on the journey with you, like in the way to show people, because sometimes people equate having money with a sense of certain freedoms and to having unlocked that. But was it something that you felt like you had to experience as well to be able to come back and give this way?
Yeah, I definitely can look at several experiences throughout my life with money that were all to allow me to have a felt experience. Like I've felt extreme poverty. I've
Yeah.
felt billions of dollars working with really high net worth individuals
Right.
and driving their Bentleys and living in their multi mansions. So having that full spectrum, and I saw scarcity in all of it. In
Interesting.
all of it, there was
Yeah.
scarcity,
Wow.
right? Because money just amplifies what's happening inside of ourselves because it's just
Interesting.
spirit, right? It's just the spiritual energy. So I absolutely do think that every single thing, not even just my finance, like everything is serving our dharma, right? Everything is
Yeah.
serving us to find who we really are and what we're really here for. And I had a lot of resistance to this particular part of my journey because of my deeper spiritual calling and mission and work, and having to work through all of the trauma on the planet about being spiritual and wealthy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, let's talk a little bit about the meridians and how you go in and work and heal the meridians to help with money specifically.
Yeah. So a lot of times when we're having experiences with money in our lives, like that's all stored in our body somewhere. It's stored in our energy field. So just to understand meridians and meet on the same page before we go into that, these are the energetic pathways in our body. And in the Taoist philosophy and the Chinese medicine philosophy that found these meridians that have now been actually proven by allopathic medicine to their existence, proven. That being said, they create our life experience and our curriculum. So basically, the energy that's moving through each of our different meridians is going to actualize a certain reality in our physical world. So we can do it two ways. We can, one, actively look at what's happening in our financial world right now. We can look at the fears that are there, the emotions, as well as what's physically manifesting, what patterns are actively manifesting. And we can then identify where in the body that's actually stored, where the energy is not flowing. Maybe there's an excess or an imbalance. And then we can actively know exactly where in the body that block of frequency or potentially hoarding a frequency or whatever it is actively stored. So we know exactly where to go to release it instead of just like throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks. We can actively know this is where this is living and this is where you want to focus your attention to actively, what I call, graduate to a new frequency. Because our meridians, like if we understand it like education, right? We all have elementary education and then high school and then university studies. Well, our meridians are the same way, but think about it as the frequency that's flowing through them. So you have an elementary frequency, which is a lot of times on the collective unconscious level right now, it is scarcity. It is wounding and pain. So that frequency will run through the meridians and it will create the experience of scarcity and pain to basically teach us about that reality and then pinpoint it in our body and graduate to a higher frequency being able to come through our meridians, and then we start having a whole new experience. So the moment you graduate, you get the lesson, like, what is the lesson here that I am trying to extract from this experience? Why am I desiring this? And once we know, which we can track through the meridians, we then can actively graduate and start creating a new reality for ourselves.
Which is, to me, is like the part that gets me go like, I always say, I always want to do cartwheels at that point, right? Like, because it's because we can change these things, right? Like we don't have to be the victim of these circumstances or view it that way anymore. It's like empowering.
Absolutely. Change is, as they say, the only constant.
Yes.
And that's what we're here for, to constantly be changing and learning and evolving. And we can address our meridians at several different layers. We work with sound frequency. We work with touch. Some people physically work with needles. I don't personally, because you then need to go see someone. And I'm all about helping people do things on your own. Like, I totally believe in acupuncture. I get it every week for my health and wholeness. That being said, when it comes to like actively working on your meridians, the more you work on them yourself, actually the better off your acupuncture sessions are going to be, because you then understand your meridians more deeply and how energy flows. I'll continually go to my acupuncturist and I'll be like, I'm pretty sure that there's something, I'm like learning something right now in my liver. Will you tune in and just like confirm what I'm hearing from my body? And every time he is. So the more that you actively work on it yourself, the better off your sessions are going to be with needles, right? So we work on it with sound, we work on it with lights, we work on it with frequency, we work on it with touch and movement and breath and all the different ways of actively shifting energy in our body.
Can we do like a group session with touch on this line or anything like that, so that they can kind of get a little mini experience of how it happens?
Yeah, I'd love to hear from some people
Sure.
first to get a sense of
Let's do
what's
that.
actually alive in people's
I gotcha.
systems. Because we can't do
Great.
all 12 meridians. It would take us several hours, but we can address
Sure.
one. So if I get some feedback on like what's happening for people, then we can definitely open up some points on the body.
And I do think we have some volunteers for that.
We do. I know Tina would like to definitely talk about this, so let's go ahead and unmute her. Tina, you're up.
Hello.
Hello.
I would say money has just been non-existent pretty much in my life. Like there's this attitude I have about money. Like I don't need money. We should. Money controls everything. I was told in a past life or in another lifetime, wherever I come from, there was no money. I had a healer like at one time. He said, "I've never seen this before. Like when you showed me where you store your money, there's nothing there. It's this, but it seems like I can get it and manifest it, but it's gone, gone, gone. So I don't know. I just like I have. Sometimes I feel like maybe it's a childhood wound, or maybe it goes back to even. I don't know. I think it's so deep, and I worked on it and work on it, and I just can't seem to manifest money.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tina, for sharing your journey and just feeling you in this experience and process. And a lot of times, this pattern, which you're experiencing, which is not unique for you, a lot of people are feeling very similarly because those thoughts about money are collective thoughts. Chances are several people on here have had similar thoughts about money or have been heard similar thoughts about money. And this particular pattern most often shows up for people in their heart meridian. And your heart meridian will create these yo-yo cycles, I call them, with money, where money will come in and then it's completely gone. And it deals with the beliefs. We have what's called the wealth wellness wheel that goes through all of the money meridians. And this is related to our beliefs. And it's tied into the fire element as well. So most often these beliefs and information is stored in heart one, which is actually in our armpit. And we can go through a little opening, but I'm curious, like maybe people can use the reaction and do like a thumbs up. Like, are any other people here experiencing something similar with money? I'd love to address like multiple points when we go into this. I see one thumbs up, or if someone else wants to come in and share and be like, hey, I want to add this as well. This has been my experience because we're definitely going to do heart clearing because that is usually a big one for a lot of people. And that one deals with our capacity to actually let money in and hold money, cultivate a relationship with it. And it's the fire energy that brings transformation. So go ahead. Did you want to say something? I saw Christina
Well, I
wants
was
to
just
add
wondering if we
something.
just want to get a little feedback from 3 or 4 of them and
Yeah.
then go into okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting, but I wasn't sure. And who was it that said I'd really love to talk to the guest today? Well, Christina says she'd really, okay, Christina, you're up. And then we'll go
Hi
to
there. Hi,
Ganesha.
ladies. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for taking me. Yes, my experience is that I always be giving everything away. So I realized in them that I had no self-worth, no self-value, no self-love. So everything, it was so deep down into me that I just keep giving everything. Even when I was giving money or presents, I would think about who needed it and I would do it. Everything all the time I was never even included. I was never in the picture, you know. So and I think that the last 7 years I worked on that, but I still feel like I don't know if my journey is now coming to the final of all this, you know, because there's so many things that happen. But I'm totally broke, and I'm I'm totally not where the money are. So so yes, I would like to add that story today.
Okay. So Hamna, did you get that one? That story?
Yeah.
Okay. And Ganesh, is it?
Ganesha?
Ganesha, you're up.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Hi. So, what the previous guests or callers were saying resonates for my partner. She was previously very financially successful, but the money was always going out. And then for the past few years, she's been in a rut, like not making money. For myself, I feel like I have a lot of trouble sleeping, relaxing. I would love to be a calmer person. And I also have like a fear. Um, I'm very interested in pursuing a different direction in life than my current career. Not because I don't enjoy my career, but because I feel called there's something lacking. I feel I need to do something more fulfilling, but I have this fear that either financially it won't work out, or I might regret it because it's not a job that I completely hate. I mean, I'm I'm fine with my work, and I'm just like very stressed recently, like trying to get through this.
Perfect. Hamna, you want another one, or are you feeling
Maybe
good
one
with
more.
this?
Yeah, we can do
Okay.
everybody
Okay,
else.
let's
Funny,
go
there's a lot of
with
synergy across many of them. I'm also
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
just scanning the chat here too.
Valentina.
Valentina, you're up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Um, yes, flow of money. Like I have a little bit, but it's not, um, and I'm able to maintain it. What I have in the bank is in the bank and I don't touch it kind of thing. Um, but on the, but it's not very much, you know. Um, but my life in general has been, a lot of lack, and it doesn't seem to matter what I do. It just is always like that. And it just doesn't um, get bigger. Like even the place where I live, it's a shared accommodations. I don't even have my own place, and I can't afford anywhere else. This is where I've been for, I don't know, 20, 30 years now. And I'd like to see myself and I picture myself in my own house, in my own home, with my own bathroom and kitchen, and the very basic things that most other people have, but I do not, and I want them, and I can't seem to get them.
Great. Thank you.
And thank you for everyone that's contributed. And remember that whenever we have someone that comes on the line, it's for the broader group. The readings are for the broader group. It's for everyone. And if it feels true for you, then that's the lightness that is.
So, a few different things that I'll share before we go into a little practice here is a lot of you are actually speaking to the fire elements and the fire element meridians. The heart was coming up in several different pieces. Anytime there is like self-worth energy swirling in the field, not feeling worthy or giving things away, not being able to really let things land and be held because there's worth, which I know that someone had shared. And then we had some leaks of energy happening, which shows up in our intestines. Since it is specifically the message that was shared, I believe it was Ganesha, about the like clarity of the direction to move for prioritizing, like where, what's going to actually make me money if I move into a new path. That's always going to come back to our small intestines because they take actually the heart fire and like literally digest it through enzymes into usable material, and that in money is what's actually going to provide for me. Like what of all these opportunities is actually going to resource me? So the nice thing about the heart and small intestines, they're both in the arm, so we can link those in together when we do a practice. The last one I want to touch on here is the water elements. A lot of people were talking about not having a flow of money coming in, and it sounded for a few of you like this is a long-standing pattern. I know someone touched on this being related to the womb and the mother, and absolutely in the comments, these patterns are passed forward generationally through the womb. And um, the kidneys specifically is what we're picking up on, and the connection between the heart and the kidneys, because anytime there's not really a flow coming in, there's two elements we look at. We look at water and we look at fire. And water is literally the flow, right? We think of water, we think of flow. There's a really great song, and I'm saying currency because I know that you had mentioned currency earlier. It's literally about currency, and it says current C, right? All these languages that we have for money, they're all water terms because water is the flow of money. But fire also is this like explosion of prosperity that can come into our lives. So some kidney work is going to be supportive. So what we're going to do is we're going to link together. We're going to open up heart 1, which is the primary vortices of heart fire being able to flow and get some energy moving. A lot of times this can be a very emotional point for people. So if you feel emotions coming, like let it happen, let it flow, cry, scream if you need to. Everyone's on mute, right? So move the emotion that comes up and trust that process. It's also a very sensitive area on our body. It's in our armpit that doesn't usually get a lot of love and attention, yet it's the doorway to our heart in there. The first time that I opened this point, I actually had a huge rash manifest all over my body from the release that took place. So we're going to work on opening up that heart 1. We're going to work on opening up the small intestine points in the face, and then we're going to link into a point at the bottom of our feet, which is the entry point to the kidneys, to being resourced again. So timing wise, can you give me like 10 minutes? What are we sensing for?
Yeah, 10 minutes
Well.
would be perfect.
Okay, cool. So what I want everyone to do is to just take a moment and tune in, rub our hands together, just start to stimulate a little bit of energy in your palms, close your eyes, just let go of any expectation, just take a nice deep breath, trust that whatever happens is meant to happen, even if it's feeling totally stuck, blocked, and lost today, that is perfect too. And just accepting that everything is going to serve your highest and best, and just bring a little bit more heat into those palms. We're just trying to energize our hands, getting some flow. If you're feeling like your hands are really cold, you can clap them together, which I won't do because the feedback on the mic will be not great for everyone here. That being said, if you need to bring a little bit more warmth in, we are cultivating fire here. You can go ahead and do so. And then we're going to take our hands, we're going to place one over our heart, you're going to place one over your belly. And I want you to start connecting in with your heart and your intestines. Specifically in this moment, our small intestines that allows us to be nourished, to take in what is supportive and beneficial for us, to hold on to it and to take the nourishment from it, and to digest and release whatever is no longer serving. You might physically start to feel warm at the start of this practice because we are directly working with fire meridians, which will heat the body quite literally. And I just want you to take a moment and let these 2 points talk. Just let yourself come into presence and connection. And taking a nice deep breath in, we're first going to open up our heart meridian. So nice deep breath in, just exhale it out. And you technically can do, if you have some mobility in your shoulders, you can do both sides at once. But if you are feeling like maybe you have shoulder tension, you can just start with one side. If you are in a woman's body, you're going to want to start with your left side. If you're in a man's body, you're going to want to start with your right side. That being said, you can also go under to both. So this point is quite literally at the center of your armpit. So if you open up your arm and you find there is the tendon you're going to feel here, you can kind of squeeze it. You'll also find a bone. You're going to be right on the center point. And then you can drop your arm down. And technically, most of us could be able to get under both of them at the same time, if you have that mobility. Otherwise, just start with one side. And what you're going to do is you're going to just apply a very gentle pressure at first and keep your eyes closed, letting this be an inward process. And I want you to breathe deeply into where your finger is pressing on your armpit. Like you could imagine that is where your mouth is and you are pulling, breathing that energy in. As you exhale, thinking clear and release. As you inhale, imagining an opening, an expansion. You can think open and free. And as you exhale, thinking clear and release. And now I want you to bring into your awareness any of the feelings that you've been having with money around your self-worth, or not being able to hold on to it, or not receiving it. Whatever has been coming up, the stories that some of you have shared, and the voiceless stories of those that are held in your heart, just allow those to come to the surface in this point. Think about them, let yourself feel the emotion of them, and as you breathe in, thinking open and clear, and as you exhale, releasing those stories, thinking free and clear. Taking several long, deep breaths, thinking these words free and clear. You might find that there's some tension here. You might find that there was actually an opening that happened and you can press in a little bit deeper. But I want you to imagine that your finger is like a vortex of frequency, and that you could penetrate a little bit deeper into that vortice, into this spinning wheel of light that is your meridian. And as you breathe into that point, bringing back into your awareness this challenge that you've been having on your heart with money, this pattern that's been coming up, or on it just slipping away, or not coming in, or not feeling worthy or clear. And as you feel into that and allow any thoughts, beliefs, experiences to surface, I want you to place them into a color. What light color does that experience represent in your heart? Whatever shows up is perfect. It could be gray, it could be white, it doesn't matter. Just trust whatever you immediately tap into, whether you see it or you feel it or you hear it or you sense it. Just do your best to take whatever that first color is and not second guess it. And then I want you to think about what the opposite color of that is. So if it's black, the opposite is white, right? And as you sense that opposite color, I want you to start visualizing that color in your fingertips and sending it into this vortice of light. And with each breath, thinking the words free and clear as you energize this meridian point with the opposite color that represents the transformation, that represents being on the other side of this experience, where you know yourself as deeply worthy, where you experience an ease that flows through you with money, where you allow money to feel safe in your body. And I want you to really focus on this experience of money is safe with me. I am safe. It is safe for me to hold money. It's safe for me to receive love and frequency and energy. And that includes money. And as that color that you are infusing into this meridian point starts to expand deeper and deeper, I want you to imagine it starts to go down your arms and all the way to your pinky finger, which runs the course of your entire heart meridian. And then you can just let your hands slide out from underneath your armpits. You can give them a little flick, releasing any energy that you might have picked up from your fingers, or you can brush them off. They may feel different ways as you move energy. We're going to come into our cheekbones next, and we're going to just tap right next to your ear. So right next to the nub on your ear, you're going to just tap. We're going to open up our small intestine now. Take some nice deep breaths in and out. You just tap along right next to the base, or I guess the little, what is this, the cartilage on your ear. Just the opening point of your small intestine, this area of fire as well that allows us to actively receive the nourishment and actually hold on to it and to be resourced by it. As you tap at this point, I want you to feel into any parts of your experience where you don't feel nourished deeply and supported completely by money. As you breathe those in, just allowing the feeling to come up for just a moment. And as you exhale, imagining and thinking to yourself, free and clear. Now I want you to breathe in the feeling of being deeply nourished. Maybe you can think about a time where you ate something and you ate it and your body was like, oh my goddess, that is so good. I feel so good eating this. Like, nectarine or piece of steak or whatever it is, like think about something that you've eaten or drank that you just felt your whole body feel nourished. And I want you to feel that nourishment, and I want you to associate that nourishment right now in your body. Wow, this is what it felt like to be so nourished. Now I want you to think about money. And then I want you to think about being deeply nourished by this piece of food and going back and forth between thinking about money and thinking about this piece of food that was deeply nourishing until the two become one. And our small intestine starts to associate money with nourishment. And we can say inside of ourselves, it is safe for me to be nourished and receive money. Money is deeply nourishing. It nourishes my life. It nourishes my path. It allows me to provide for myself. It allows me to serve others with joy and from overflow. I'm just allowing that nourishment. We're going to just tap down our face, down the sides of our neck, the left and right side. And I want you to come back under your armpits and just tap that left heart points and then the right. Just go back and forth. And then you're going to just tap down your arms. You're hitting both. Focusing on your pinky side is going to be the top of it is going to run the small intestine, and the underside of your pinky side of your arm is going to be your heart. So you can just work and tap along those as you breathe in the energy of expansion and opening, and you exhale free and clear, free and clear. Coming to your other side, same thing, just continuing to feel this nourishment, thinking about money as a source of nourishment. Thinking free and clear as you open the pathways. And we'll just do that just up and down each arm one more time, and then we're going to weave in our kidneys. You might be feeling a little warm. That's perfectly okay. And then whenever you're ready, you can come. Just place your hands over your heart. And if you have your feet cross-legged, go ahead and put your feet on the floor. So the next point that we're going to connect with is on the bottom of our foot. So this is kidney 1. Let me take off. It's right at the bottom of the sole of your foot. So if you basically go right underneath the mound of your foot is where that point is. And we're going to just visually do this. Energetically do this. This is amazing to do outside because this point literally opens us up to be resourced by the earth and to connect with the genetic potential, the Jing, the source energy that's available. So we're going to take our hands and you're going to place them over your kidneys if you're able to, or you can just do one depending on how your shoulders are feeling right now. And I want you to bring your awareness deep into your heart, into the part of you that is pure light and consciousness, into the part of you that knows love and connection at all times, deep at the back of your heart. And I want you to imagine a bright light there at that point in your heart. Maybe it's that color that we started to infuse into Heart One that represented our transformation. And as it expands, I want you to start allowing that light to extend down and to connect to the left and right kidneys. And starting to breathe this connection between your kidneys and your heart. What we're doing here is we are opening ourselves up to connect our will and our energy that we have access to in our body that we were given at birth and beyond from source. We call it our destiny in Chinese medicine, with our purpose that lives in our heart, our spirit that lives in our heart. So we're allowing our destiny and our purpose to come together. Uniting our heart and our kidneys is also uniting the elements of water and fire, which is an alchemical reaction that transforms and transmutes. So as you breathe, we're going to just amplify this for just a few more breaths, really amplify this connection between the light in your heart and your kidneys. Feel your kidneys start to swirl this rich energy of water. And feeling that water start to overflow and bubble up from this heat of your heart, creating this steam, this etheric steam of transformation. As this steam starts to rise, I want you to place into that steam, into this etheric energy, this alchemical current of water and fire, any remaining thoughts of limitation that pops up. Doesn't matter what it is. Any belief or experience that has happened, I want you to place it into the steam that's rising. And breathe deeper into the fire and water and allow it to be transformed. As it's being transformed, I want you to focus on that feeling of being deeply nourished. Allowing us to associate this experience that happened as being nourishing to some part of us that maybe we simply weren't aware of. And I want you to think inside of yourself, thank you for this nourishment. Thank you for this nourishment. And then as this alchemy is happening, bring your attention to the bottom of your feet, pretty much right at the center of your foot, below your foot mound, to a single point of lights called the kidney 1 point. And I want you to start to breathe this energy. Maybe it's a color of light, maybe it's sensation at the bottom of your kidney points. And I want you to feel into any stuckness, any part that has felt like money is simply not flowing, you're just not receiving, it's not coming in. And I want you to start breathing that alchemical energy that we've now created between our heart and our kidneys down your legs and into that kidney 1 point and start to clear. And you can literally do a few strong breaths here where you take a deep breath in, pulling that energy down, and really strongly exhale into those kidney 1 points and literally feel it blast open any stuckness. Pull another deep breath of that alchemical ether energy. And exhale, open those 2 points. Let's do one more. Inhaling, pulling it down. And exhale, blasting open your kidney 1 points. And feeling the energy now flowing down from kidney 1 and rooting you into the earth, plugging into the earth. And I want you to imagine that the earth is now creating a container, a safe container for you to receive and flow water, money, energy into. And you can breathe it up into your body. You can let your hands rest at your sides now. Just allow this flow of energy to start coming up through kidney 1 points and up through your body, connecting you with your destiny and your capacity to hold the energy of your destiny, of your purpose here, and the resources that are aligned with your destiny and your purpose to receive. And just take a few breaths to stabilize and anchor this experience here. And how you're feeling right now, I want you to capture this and make a mudra, any mudra with your hands that feels natural to you. Maybe you bring your hands together. Maybe you place 2 fingers together. Let your hands spontaneously take a mudra that captures the essence of this connectivity, of this experience, of this transformation, and of this felt sensation that you're having right now. And slowly deepen your breath and let yourself come back into our shared space. Slowly, I highly encourage people to look away from your computer before opening your eyes so that you take in natural light before taking in the light of your screen. And I want you to take a little snapshot of this mudra as your unconscious gave you this mudra to represent this transformation, to represent this experience that just happened. And I want you to utilize this mudra consistently every day, like going to it. I think Zoom's thinking my hands are upside down there. Whatever mudra it was for you, like however you want to remember it, maybe take a picture. If you're like me, I'm like, well, I'm going to totally forget whatever mudra that was. Snap a picture real quick, remember it, and keep utilizing it every day, because every time you do, it's going to say to your unconscious, hey, remember that feeling, remember that transformation, remember that energy that we just tapped into and experienced. This is it. It's here. It's available. It's here for you. So a couple of things to make note of. So we just did a very quick and rapid clearing of your meridians, that you want to be super hydrated, like drink lots of water, especially we cleared the kidney meridian. You may have some heat released from your body. So heat releasing from the body could be, your skin gets flushed. I've had clients get, as I said, rashes when we clear heart meridian stuff. All of that is actually a sign of success. However it happens, like just be with what is in the release, and make sure that you just take care of your body and drink all the water and all the things, and maybe speak the blessing into the water, or hold it with your mudra to imprint the water with that transformation as well as you drink it in.
Wow.
Wow. I'd love to hear your comments and takeaway on the chat. I've never experienced anything like that.
It was.
I mean, and I go to an acupuncturist every week.
And you've done a lot of body work.
Yeah, I know.
It was beautiful.
Very beautiful.
And gosh, my body was just like.
It was like eating it up. It wanted that.
Yes, it was like, I felt like it was acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
And just so much gratitude. Whew.
Wow.
My voice changed.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Wow.
I'm just gonna see. Let me
Felt
open
like
up.
golden light. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. As I was doing the clearing, Valentina says, I felt my tummy get empty, and as time passed at the end, I felt like it was getting fuller.
So one thing about this year, we're in the year of the dragon, as many people probably know. And my feng shui teacher, she always tells me and reminds me that the belly of the dragon is where we hold wealth. So the earth element that we connected to is actually what creates the container to hold the flow of energy in, the water, which is money or love or anything else. So literally that like emptying of the belly and then it feeling full is that magic of the earth coming in and allowing us a space to hold energy. Hey, I can hold this. Yes, I can expand into this. Um, yeah, there's something so different for me. Like like yourself, I've been getting acupuncture every week for 4 years now, and I still have just so many amazing experiences when I directly work on my meridians that acupuncture just doesn't touch, because there is this power of us
Yeah.
really starting to engage and inform our energy body in a very
Yes.
sentient way that is so quick to create change in our lives.
And transformative. Like it's us. I
Us
always love
choosing
that.
to. There's
Yeah.
some choice in there. It could, just a little add of choice to, choice and change. And
I don't even want to give
Yeah.
words to it, but
I know. Yeah, I didn't want to either, but that is kind of what the words that came through. Right?
and we are on a podcast, so we do have to talk a little bit, but
We're all like, la da da.
Well, Hamna has put together a special offer for everyone if you want to dive deeper into this work. And I'm going to bring it up while we're all kind of just having this moment of like, what the fuck just happened to us?
and if you are on the podcast and you're listening just audio only, I advise you can go over to Haute, Haute, hustle.com. Opt in, you'll get the information for the replays sent to you. And you'll be able to also view where we do all of the live streaming. So you'll see exactly where Ahamna was placing her hands, where she was moving the energy. So just a visual if you want to participate in that way too. So,
And if
definitely
you just
go
want to
over.
keep doing it again.
Yeah, that's
Hamna,
true.
what is the recommendation on, do it until you don't need it anymore? What do you usually say?
That's a good question.
The beautiful thing about the meridians is because we were talking earlier about it being this like graduation of currency, like
Yeah.
you you never want to stop working with your meridians, because the more that you work with them, the more flow. Now, you do want to pause and take steps back to integrate, right? If you have a really big visceral release, you want to take some self-care time. You want to take a bath, you want to integrate, you want to land, you want to ground. And like I see some people in the chat had really deep releases with a couple of those points. There's going to be more layers as you go deeper into it. So keep touching in, like keep working with your body, really start speaking to your meridians and say, hey, where on my body can I open up? Chances are you are not spontaneously just touching a random spot on your body. Chances are you're touching a meridian point on your body that your body's guiding you to open, just like we did today. So it's not only just the points that we just touched today, like do this anywhere on your body that you feel your hands called towards, and do it as much as you want. But yes, just remember, take time to integrate, to hydrate, to rest, and to process that yin side, process what's come through before jumping into another session.
Yeah. Wow.
Fabulous.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm just gonna, it's so funny because I love this conversations on money. I've done so many of them, but this one is one that I'm just like, wow.
Yeah, no, this is amazing. Thank you so much. I feel like it's been just just a beautiful gift that you've given us here with even your time and this process.
Yeah, thank you.
You
My
know,
gosh.
for those who want to play deeper, great. For those who can, just want to hear this on the replay, I, welcome you to do that. That's why we have this forum. And then send this to your friends, someone that might be suffering as well. Just be the invitation. You don't have to say, long drawn out reasoning. Just be like, hey, have you checked this out?
Yeah. Now, will you go through and talk about what's in this e-course that you offered us to share with the list?
Yeah, so this particular e-course is actually going to go much deeper into the money meridians. So it will take you through unpacking any fears that are coming up in your life with money, any emotional experiences that you're having, and then you'll tangibly look at your money story and you will go through piecing together, okay, based on my experience, what meridians in my body are actually where these wounds are stored, where these patterns are stored. And then you'll be guided through in the course, like actively clearing those meridians. So it's partially learning about the money meridians in depth, every single one of them, and then application of going through a healing process of clearing and releasing through various different techniques to actively reset the meridians and open up to new energy flow. So it goes deep into what we touched base on today and several more practices of actively clearing and resetting your meridians.
Fabulous. You guys, 9 videos total. If you like this work, this might be one for you for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
That's good. Wow. I don't know. We don't have any words anymore. Hamna, do you have any words for
Any
us?
parting words for us
Any
there?
parting words?
Yeah,
Thank you.
that you'd like to share with the group and leave us with.
Yeah, what is coming through is a reminder for all of us and letting it land into our bodies that it's safe for us to claim who we are here to be and to be claiming success. It's safe to claim success. It's safe to claim money. It's safe to claim your voice and your power and your gifts in this life. Like all of the stuff that has happened on the planet is done. And now we're here. And right now, all systems are go. Like it's time to remind our bodies that there's a new way to move forward and it's safe for us to thrive.
Hey, yes, I love it so much.
Thank you. If you are watching the replay, the link will be somewhere on this page, including on YouTube. They're all in the captions. At least I hope they are. And if you are watching on YouTube, just a reminder to subscribe because that's always a good thing if you like this to stay around.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you.
And Hamna, I hope that you'll be able to come back with us again. It was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
That was so cool. I just have never done an experience like that. Not for money. We've done it for other things, but that's awesome.
Yes. And thank you for the, reminding us of the safety of it and
the nourishment. It's beautiful.
Thank you, ladies, for having me. I look forward to future play together.
Thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for sharing your voice and your heart and your experience. I know it can be vulnerable to put our money stuff out there, so I really appreciate all of you for being here. Thank you, everyone.
That's fabulous.
Bye.
All right, you guys. Just a reminder, same place, same time tomorrow. And we are talking with Isha of First Contact. She works with UFO researchers. She's a channel of very specific races within the Galactic
Federation
Council.
Yes. It's going to be fascinating. So just full disclosure, we will be live. So we'll be joining you live However, we will, because she's traveling, she's here in the US and she lives in Australia, we had to do a pre-record, but she was so excited to share with our audience. So we'll still be on the chat, we'll still be playing in the same way, and we'll still be facilitating and taking your questions afterwards, but we're going to listen in to what she has to share and those messages to the interview. It's going to be so fascinating. She's interviewed some of the leaders in ufology work. So it's going to be, she's got a lot of interesting thing to say, and I think it just comes from a different, again, just sharing that diversity of speakers. And if it feels true for you, if it feels light, great. Join us. We'll still be live and we'll still be playing on the line. So that we also have after that. Sherry Mosley is, oh gosh, it's going to be a fun, like galactic day. Woo! She channels the Aquilorians, and so she's going to bring in that crystalline light that she works in the Akashic Records as well, and she has a very unique way in which she brings in the transmission for creating change, and what the Earth is really, the humans on Earth, helping us to foster in the new Earth. And golly, I mean, there's just so much going on in the cosmos right now. If you're feeling, hey, let me just, little PSA right here. If you're feeling a little like, woo, and just all over the place, remember we have the eclipse, coming. We have a lot of swirling eclipse energy, and then there's also that comet that has a spiral core that is headed toward the sun. So just a lot of movement, and in the human awareness, just because we have like a lot more technology. So it's just up in the collective as well. So people could kind of feel like they might be spinning. So just remember, be very try to ground.
I mean, nurture yourself tonight.
There it is, nurture. I don't always use the word grounding, but just, you can fall back into yourself, and then again, a lot of water, things that really remind us that we're having an experience here on Earth, and a lot of grace. I mean, if you are feeling like, whoa, and this and that, just take a breath and know that there's a lot going on right now.
Yeah. Feel so light and loose right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great day.
Excited to have y'all.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. Just a reminder about the lounge that we're putting together. If you like hanging out with me and Lianka, or you were at the beginning of this call and you'd like more of that and some personal attention, we will be starting a party for the lounge, and that happens March 26th. It's the Tuesday after the summit is over. So just in case you're missing us and you just really feel like you've got to join. Right now it's $29 a month, and you'll look for the link in your email. So thank you all, and it's been a joy to be with you. Same place, same time tomorrow. Bye, everyone.